Hi, everybody. We're putting up some links.
The Celtics are not sports balling very well right now.
Well, neither are the Red Sox, so. Yeah. Fucking Facebook. So this. And then let me share it to 18 different places. And then once it's shared, then we shall begin. I basically have to share to every category that's in the share drop-down menu now, except for event, because who shares in an event? Secret.
Well, some people share events and then cut them off. Fuck me. Cut them off before they get through the main event. This is like the 5th fucking time I've spilled a beer while doing this show.
That's what you get for making fun of me.
Well.
I thought it had continued after I got the 20% battery notification, because the video was still going. I'd never done anything. I'd never broadcast live on Twitter before, so I didn't know exactly what was going on there. All right. You got the chat room up?
Nope. I'm cleaning up my spill here. Hold on. Which was also related to the Charlotte pictures, but all right. Well, hopefully I don't spill anything else because I just used all the paper towels I had. All right, where's the links? Let's see. Why is that going so fucking slow? There we go. Okay.
That's inconspicuous. Ow, fuck. Hurry up already. It's 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, because I'm the fucking problem here. Really? You can eat a fucking dick, okay?
I'm going into work late tomorrow, though, so it's fine.
I'm not, all right? I did a fucking hour-and-a-half podcast last night. I did work today. I did baseball after work, so fuck off. All right, already in the house. Pop out chat. There we go. That's not what I wanted to fucking do. Close that bitch. Okay. All right. We's good.
Okay. You got Audacity up and ready to go?
In a moment. Yes, go ahead.
All right, so this is 292 in 3, 2.
Oh, hold on. It's wrong.
Bitch.
All right, go ahead.
292, 3, 2, 1, record. Who is the dude with
Big song!
Dick? It's episode 292 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host. It is Thursday, May 4th, 2017. Payback in the books. Check out my review on questendnetwork.com. But we're going to talk about it as well. Hello, Jason. Jason's here.
What's up, Adam?
As per usual. Jason had a wonderful sit-down interview with a good friend, another... Do we call him a legend, a New England legend? I would say so.
He's a Hall of Famer, so I think you'd have to.
Go. Slick Wagner Brown. That's going to go up the next rundown, sit down, episode 2. It's going to drop. We're going to drop that Monday or Tuesday, probably Monday. So be on the lookout for that in your rundown feeds.
Yeah, it was awesome conversation. I really hope everyone enjoys it. I've known Wagner for probably the last 23 or so years, and I still got stuff out of there that I didn't know about. So I think it'll be really cool for everybody.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Yeah, and then of course NXT Revisited now posting every Wednesday. Check out last night's episode 3. the July 4th, 2012 edition of NXT. That is on your rundown feeds as well. But this is the granddaddy of them all right here. This is our rundown wrestling podcast every Thursday.
The flagship.
That too. Every Thursday on your rundown feeds. What do we got going on in the chat room, big guy?
Well, if you look to the right-hand side of your screen, if you're watching us on the YouTubes, we have a special little box there where it's called Live Chat. We call it the Smathers Lounge, named after the first guy to post there, as always, our good friend Mike Smathers. You can slide on in there. It goes down in the DMs. It goes down in our live chat. Slide your pants off, have some fun, and join in the conversation.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to take your pants off, but it's
helps.
much more fun if you do. Yeah,
of course. All right. Shall we get right into it then?
We could do that. We well, just to shout out before we really get into it, we got Smathers in there. As I said, Troy's in the chat. And we have a new visitor, CD Weekly Challenges, who says, stank ass. And can you say, I believe it's supposed to be tiggle bitties.
Okie doke. Now, it's weird because we had a pay-per-view this week. We have our regular television this week, and I don't have any voicemails.
You don't have any voicemails?
So
how do you not have any voicemails? Sal usually leaves like 17 voicemails.
I know, and they're it's Taz!
You're damn right it is. It's been a long time coming, and I am here joining the Rundown Wrestling Podcast.
It's Sal, everybody.
Live and in living color.
Now that Jason got all the squirrel porn off his computer.
If it wasn't for Jason, this would not be happening right now.
That's true.
So when you argue with me, remember that.
Well, just know that I'm erect right off that saying. So,
hi, Sal.
What's going on, Adam?
Not much.
Nice to be a guest on your podcast this week.
I'm happy to finally have you. We've only been talking about it for a couple of years or so.
Oh, yeah, 4 or 5 years. It's all right, you know.
well, if you would download less porn, Sal, this would have happened a long time ago.
You know what really helps is the microphone. That's a I don't have a cool windscreen like you guys do, though, but that's all right. I'll deal.
Yeah, I remember the first conversation Sal and I had about him coming on the show. Sal was shocked to find out that he needed headphones and a microphone in order to participate in the podcast. Well, now that we got all that squared away, we're very happy.
I figured modern technology, you know, everything, the computer can just pick up everything. I didn't know it was going to sound like shit.
That's okay. Most of what we say sounds like shit anyway.
Well, yeah,
that's a good point.
Let's talk about Payback, shall we?
I would personally like to be paid back the money I spent to watch it. So,
oh, that's a little bit harsh. You thought it was that bad?
It was fair to middling.
No, I actually enjoyed it by and large, except
for one part.
Yeah.
Well,
can we stop with that part?
2 parts. No, it's a pay-per-view, so the one that we'll do the thing that Troy hates. We'll just go in order.
Speaking of 2 parts, we'll have some news on Charlotte later on.
Oh, 2
One's
parts
up here.
here, one here, one there.
All right, pre-show. The Club versus Cass and Enzo. Anderson and Gallows picking up the victory.
Yeah, I totally missed it, so I've got nothing to contribute on this front.
I unfortunately caught it. And here's the thing is when Enzo and Cass came out, I thought a lot of their promos were really like fresh and new. And I don't know if they're just running out of material, but their promo about Chinese food before the match sucked. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean it's never good when they go to the promo where Cass is just listing off things.
Yeah,
I think they've done one of those successfully. It may have been the one where he named off the presidents. But yeah, Cass just naming off Chinese food was not entertaining.
Seems like both the Club and Enzo and Cass are just kind of on that downward spiral down the card. I mean, they just don't seem important anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're pushing tag teams that aren't tag teams, which is always a problem. And then you get the return of the Hardys, pushed them back. I think Enzo and Cass were probably supposed to win the titles at WrestleMania until they decided to bring the Hardys back, and that kind of changed all the plans. So they're kind of treading water until they move on. So
I think last week really showed the fact that I think they only have them as a tag team because they haven't figured out a way to make Enzo just a manager yet.
They're trying.
Take him out. Put Balor in there, pal.
Every chance they can to get Enzo out of a match and just focus on Big Cass. They love doing it.
Speaking of Balor, Finn Balor on Miz TV. I enjoyed that segment.
Wasn't bad. I thought it was good. I liked that Finn Balor kind of has a voice now. I didn't think he really had that when he started last year.
They've been giving him he's been able to show some personality, and I appreciate that. I mean, not that he had a huge chance to do anything when he first came up to the main roster anyway, because he got injured right away and was out for 9 months. But I like the promo. I enjoyed the Balor Club, the kind of the way they kind of tied the crowd into it, asking the crowd if Miz and Maurice could be members of the club, and then beating the shit out of them.
And allow me to say for a second, Maurice can join any fucking club I'm in. Okay.
Did you notice that when he asked Miz, they all said no, and when he asked Maurice, they all said yes?
Of course.
Wouldn't you?
All right, then to the show proper. The layout of this card was so bizarre to me. They have 4 title matches on the show, and they put them as the first 4 matches on the show.
You had horse.
That's true. First title match, the U.S. title, Jericho versus Owens. Jericho wins the United States Championship, goes to SmackDown. We'll talk about what happened after later on. But I thought this was a great match. I thought it was a great way to open the show, get the crowd hot, get the crowd rolling. And we had a surprise title change that we will talk a little bit more out before our discussion topic later on.
Far be it from me to say I told you so, Adam, but that was pretty much the exact scenario I laid out last week.
Well,
you run the company, so I gotta say,
I wish. I don't have nearly enough money to be running that company.
That's a good point, but you'd also have all the stress that goes along with it.
True.
But here's the thing with that is that I swear they do things now just so they won't be predictable. They purposely are gonna change finishes of matches and the day of the pay-per-view just so that the internet didn't get it right. I mean, was there really a point in putting the title on Jericho for 2 days?
See,
get him on SmackDown anyways.
For my money, if you were going to do something like this, should have just had Jericho hold on at WrestleMania. I think you would have got the shock factor. And then you could have had the story build a little bit before you had to have Owens take the title back. So I think it just kind of felt like a step too late in a way.
I enjoyed the ending. I like that they tied it back to WrestleMania with the one finger on the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
And then that played into the finish as well with Jericho going after the hand and Owens finally having to tap out because he couldn't reach couldn't grab the ropes with that injured hand.
No, I did enjoy that. That was a good little tie-in for me in the match, and especially when he put it in between the stairs and then just kicked the stairs. No. And Owens sold it great. He was amazing.
Yeah, that was just one of those things. Like that was so. There's no scenario under which anyone should believe that his fingers are stuck in that position. I mean, at least when Bayley and Sasha did it, she had her whole hand kind of wedged in there, so you could at least buy that she couldn't get it out before she kicked it. But in this case, it was just, I don't know, it took away from it a little bit for me.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of matches I enjoyed the endings of.
Of course.
Neville versus Aries.
Oh.
I thought another great match between these two. Neville, sneaks out the DQ finish to retain the belt because he was about to tap to the last chancery. I enjoyed the hell out of that match.
I sort of loved the way they went about an old school feel to that, because that reminded me of like the old school matches when you wanted to have the face win, but you didn't want him to take the title, so the heel was in position to lose, but did something to get himself to squat. I thought that was really good storytelling. I thought it allows you to continue this feud for another month.
They've got TJP in the mix now. Official name change, by the way, because
that's weird. By the way,
why not?
Yeah.
Let's just call him by initials. Maybe he'll get over like Triple H. Here's the thing, and I don't mind them continuing the feud with Aries and Neville because I enjoy their matches. But when they finished the match, I instantly thought, oh, that's because Extreme Rules is in June. So you do the no DQ finish, you get to Extreme Rules. Does Aries take the title at that point?
Probably. I think it's a mistake, but probably.
Yeah, because I don't think they're going to be able to play this all the way out till SummerSlam or anything like that.
No, and I would leave Neville on top of 205 for now. I think he's the only thing that's been worth watching on that show for quite a while. My feelings on Aries on here are fairly well known, so I'm not going to go into too much of that. I don't know how, when you're talking about a floundering brand like 205 Live, I'm not sure Aries is the guy you want at the top of that mountain, trying to draw people in.
I feel like they've tried a bunch of other people. You know, they started with TJP, they moved to Rich Swann. They don't have that face that can really get the brand over.
I think Neville's doing it as much as anybody can.
Yeah.
Because I think he has a recognition, and I think there is and can be money in a Neville versus Cedric Alexander program for the title.
That is true. When Cedric comes back, you know, now that especially that he's done with Alicia Fox, that could be huge money.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. They should probably keep it on Neville. I mean, I don't think Aries can be the face of 205 Live. I don't think he can generate that kind of response.
Cedric's been the only cruiserweight that's gotten solid reactions since day one from crowds that don't even know him. So I think that's a guy that you can put at the top. Now, the question is, coming back from injury, does the crowd attention still get held by him? Who knows? We'll have to find that out. But
And speaking of NXT 205 Live secondary championship, congratulations to Noam Dar for regaining Alicia Fox on 205 Live this week.
Yeah.
The tag title match, the last of the 4 title matches. Nope, sorry, that was the next one. The tag title match, the third of the 4 title matches. The Hardys defending against Cesaro, take your pick.
And it didn't take us very long. I mean, this was their first title defense officially on pay-per-view, right? And already the Hardys are broken.
Yeah, they're broken. And Cesaro are now heels.
Yeah, we got that official heel turn at the end of the match. They shook hands, but then beat the shit out of the Hardys afterwards. And Brother Nero actually lost a fucking tooth.
Yeah. Look, I get that Vince McMahon has an Irish fetish. I get that if you're big and you're Irish, Vince will push you regardless of what you are in the ring. Sheamus is not a guy I think you want to put guys you value in the ring with. I mean, let's go back to, and people forget this, he's the guy that gave Daniel Bryan the final concussion. It was Sheamus working this stiff style. Now, the difference with guys who work stiff, when guys say they work stiff means you hit hard, but you hit hard in safe ways and safe places.
Yeah.
Sheamus doesn't do that. You're talking about Jeff Hardy had his face exposed, and Sheamus just full on fucking kicked him right in the face.
Yep.
Like, this was not like Randy Orton used to do the boot to the head, but he did it in a way that looked good but was safe. This was just sloppy. This was brutal. This was served no end. This was risky and dangerous and stupid. We're lucky Jeff Hardy didn't come out of this with more than just a lost tooth and didn't have some sort of a serious concussion. Somebody's got to sit Sheamus down and tell him to calm the fuck down. I think he also hard-weighed Matt Hardy in this one too, right above or below the eye. I forget which.
Yeah, Matt was bleeding from the forehead. Yep.
So, seriously, I like Sheamus as a heel. I think these two can actually succeed as a tag team. Similar in the veins, if anyone remembers Cesaro from his Kings of Wrestling gimmick with Chris Hero back in Ring of Honor, I think you could see a similar type of team here with them as heels, but they got to pull the reins in on Sheamus and tell him to calm the fuck down.
I was actually questioning, because of what happened with Isaiah Thomas earlier in the day, if that was all set up. Adam, if you're not aware, Isaiah Thomas of the Boston Celtics got his tooth knocked out.
Oh, sports ball.
2 hours before Jeff Hardy did. So I'm like, Vince isn't paying attention to basketball.
No,
right now.
of course not.
Yes, Sheamus has always been known to be stiff, and like you said, not stiff in the way that it looks good, but potatoing people and just straight out laying people out. And like you said, he hard weighed Matt Hardy, and just I don't know. That's Sheamus. He's always never been able to rein it in, and I don't understand why he gets this push. He's always on TV and
Irish fetish.
Yeah, it's for the wrong people.
Fucking guy.
There's other Irish people on the roster they can push. Not Sheamus.
Finn's getting a pretty good push. Becky Lynch is a face of women's division on SmackDown Live. I'm just saying, this is a well-known thing. Vince has this Irish thing.
Can we talk about just talk about the fact that Sheamus is still using the Irish curse backbreaker, which, as we covered on this program many episodes ago, just means that he has a tiny penis.
Right.
Well, he embraces it, so fella.
He's probably no tiny penis Titus, but still. Tiny penis. Again, O'Neal, Irish curse. Okay. Then our fourth and final title match of the show, Alexa Bliss taking the Raw Women's Championship from Bayley.
So here's the thing. I was very happy they put it on Alexa.
Rant.
Yes, that's for those of you new to the program. All of the rants on this show somehow always start with the phrase, "So here's the thing." Go ahead.
Believe it or not, I'm happy Alexa has the champ. But my thing about Bayley is she lost pretty clean. I mean, I understand Bayley's got that whole Sami Zayn thing going on where she can lose clean, but I don't know. I'm starting to believe they just didn't believe in her as champion.
I didn't like the last spot. The spot where she went into the turn post, it didn't look right to me. It looked so forced and not natural. And I know it's professional wrestling, but still, the way that played out with her kicking out and then getting launched into the the turn post just didn't look right to me.
See, I liked that spot. I thought it was a clever kind of way to get to where they wanted to go, and something that they don't really utilize that often. I haven't really seen anybody take that type of spot. She didn't fly like Ember fucking Moon did, but we'll get to that. But I thought it was okay. I can't look. I love Alexa. I'm glad. I'm happy for her. That said, there was no fucking reason to take the title off Bayley in her hometown. I know Vince has this thing about it. I thought we were maybe coming around the corner after Naomi at WrestleMania, but
I still don't understand why that's a thing.
It's Vince's philosophy is essentially it's a great way to get heat. That's it. That's really what it seems to be about. Is just, hey, if we have this person lose or get humiliated in their hometown, we'll get a ton of heat for it. The problem is, I think what he fails to realize is you're sending your paying customers away unhappy. And there were a lot of people that were really bummed at Hell in a Cell when Sasha lost, and they left the event feeling shitty about the event they just paid a bunch of money for.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's kind of the part he forgets and doesn't remember. But at the end of the day, I guess we're back to the same formula, so we know the next time you're in your hometown, you're fucking losing.
See, the Sasha thing was
title match of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Well, the Sasha thing was worse. That was the main event in the first time women ever been in a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And Vince did that, like you said, just to get a bunch of heat on Charlotte. This match, I almost feel like it was a panic move, that they weren't getting the reactions they wanted from Bayley, and they decided to make a change. I don't see Bayley winning that belt back. Not immediately, anyway.
No, I think she'll get it. I mean, you saw on Monday, she's still the focal point. I don't know if she'll get it back right away, but I do think she's definitely figured into the plans. I still think the ultimate plan is to get Bayley and Charlotte. Bayley and Sasha at SummerSlam. So I think we'll get there somehow.
Yeah. Remember how I said we're going to go in order? We're not, because we're going to save the worst for last. Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins up next.
Fuck. Can we please talk about the horse? It was a 2-part match.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, let's talk about Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. They had a match. It was okay. So next,
more of this knee injury that's not always a knee injury during this match.
It's very convenient when all of a sudden it hurts out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. I thought the match itself was decent.
I know Time Travel Adam has straight up offered to suck Seth Rollins' dick. I know Andy's has brunches with Seth Rollins.
Yep, weekly pancake breakfast.
Allow me to be the purveyor of an unpopular opinion, but I just don't think Seth Rollins is a main event guy. I don't see it.
Now you say that, but then on Monday I felt like he was amazing in that match.
But what did you think about the promo, Sal? Because that was a horrendous promo he cut to lead into that.
It felt like it was written for him, right?
Hey guys, I guess you like me, huh? Good to see you. How you feeling, huh?
Yeah, that was bad. No, that was bad.
The guy, and maybe it's a face thing. Maybe he's just not comfortable working and cutting promos as a face. That's possible. I just, even as a heel, I never saw that main event promo from him. I don't know that he has it in him. And some guys don't. But when you're elevated and pushed to being a top of the card guy, you kind of need to have all the tools. And I feel like Seth is missing at least one or two.
See, he definitely
that disconnect.
Yeah, he definitely had some help with the Authority was kind of doing his promos for him. And you got a point. I think about Edge. Edge was not a face. It never really worked when they tried to make him a face. And what I saw from Seth on Monday, he was much better in that backstage segment playing off of Dean Ambrose. You know, than standing in the ring going, "You guys like me. You really like me." It just reeked of scripted, and I just wish he didn't cut that promo. But
this article I read called it Seth Rollins motivational speaker.
I don't know. Him and Joe, I mean, they're going to work all right. The match was passable. It was nothing bad. It just, like you said, that knee injury pops up when it's convenient, usually within the last 2 minutes of the match. And then Seth gets kind of the cheap win. I don't think it really does anything for him. It doesn't, galvanize him in my mind.
I don't think there was any reason to beat Samoa Joe in that spot. I really don't. I would have preferred, if you want Seth to win, I would have preferred Joe beat him until the referee stops the match, or Joe refuses to break a hold and gets disqualified. Something along those lines where, okay, Joe lost, but listen, he beat it. You just had Seth, you made a point at certain points about Joe being undefeated going into it, and Seth just beats him to no end. We're continuing the feud, so it made no point it wasn't the end of the feud or the blow off or the thing that pushed Seth up the card. He's still where he was. The feud's continuing. Except now Samoa Joe seems less interesting and less important. That's the only thing we really accomplished is minimizing Samoa Joe.
And now we go right to Extreme Rules. Well, these two will have a stairs match. I don't
know. Reigns versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, one more thing about that Seth Joe match too.
Okay.
I feel like it suffered a little bit following what they followed. I think they took a lot of the air out of the crowd with the first leg of the Horrors match. And I think that impacted the crowd going into Joe and Seth.
Wasn't it you that sent to the host that there were loud, boring chants during?
Yeah, you can go on YouTube. There are videos of it.
Okay.
The crowd's reaction, and it's very loud, boring chants while this is going on. So they took all the air out of that crowd and then sent Seth and Joe out and said, "Hey, go get them back."
Yeah.
So I'm about to say something that is going to make you guys realize why I have been needed on this show for 4 years. and that is, I like to take...
He's got a huge ego already.
I'd like to take whoever booked this show, right? And just fucking choke them. Because like Adam said in the beginning, the match lineup was all over the place. It made no sense. And then the crowd could have been up for Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins, but after the shitfest they just saw for 15 minutes, why would they be?
Right.
I completely agree with your point, Jason. They were asked to go out there and try to get the crowd back. That's not fair. Right. Not following that fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah. Yeah, and positioning of the matches on a card is huge, and I think it's something that not enough attention is being paid to lately in the WWE.
Yeah, if anything, move things around. Even take Club versus Cass and Enzo off the kickoff and put it between the House of Horrors segments, because It's something, like I said, it completely killed everything, all the momentum of the show at that point. And especially the worst part about it, and we'll get more of it into it when we get into it, but the worst part of that whole thing was it's going to start at this house and end in the ring. So you knew that there's going to be downtime. So you knew that this was not going to be a one segment thing. And then we got what we got. I was like, do we have to go back to that? Are you sure for part 2? But
all right, can we talk about the whores now? Are we done?
all right.
No, he wants to talk about Roman and Strains.
We can talk
Strowman and Reigns.
we can talk about Strowman Reigns after the House of Horrors if you want.
No, we can just do it. Because I thought Strowman and Reigns was the best match on the card. I thought it was.
That absolutely should have been the match that they had at Fastlane.
Yep. I thought it was positioned well. I thought it was the main event. I thought it felt like a main event. Sal, did it play out exactly how I told you it would?
Pretty much exactly. Although there were some people leading up to Payback saying there's no way Roman loses that match. Different podcasts.
Because it wasn't me.
No, it was not you. Different podcasts who I will not mention because I'm not that guy. We're saying that Roman needs his win after what Strowman did to him. But I thought the match was really hard-hitting, really good match. It felt like a main event, like you said. The only thing for me was the aftermath, which was, it just seemed so forced. Like, listen, we're going to friggin' shove this down your throat, whether you like it or not. And then we're going to have Braun break an ambulance door so they can have the ambulance match at Extreme Rules that we should have got here.
I hate the phrase, we're going to shove it down your throat. It's the most contrived, smart comment that's out there. And the reason being, if they shove Finn Balor down your throat, you don't care.
No, that's not true. I do care. I would care.
They've shoved Kevin Owens down our throat since he came up. People don't care. People don't care. If you like the guy, you don't care if he's shoved down your throat. Kevin Owens was not this indie darling creation that the WWE has changed everything about Kevin Owens since he was on the indies. When was the last time you saw him do the triple jump moonsault there that he does off the ropes? He doesn't do it anymore. They fucking told him stop. You don't work that style. It's not an indies. This is the WWE. They've changed everything that people loved about him, but yet they still don't care if he's shoved down their throats. But Roman Reigns, to his credit, goes out pay-per-view after pay-per-view. 2 days removed from his fucking brother dying. This guy's out there putting on a hell of a match with a guy who, let's be honest, Strowman is still pretty green and pretty limited. He's being booked very well, but he's still not. But Roman went out there, and everyone says, oh, AJ carried Roman to a great match. Bullshit. Nobody carries somebody to a great match at that level on that stage. Roman carried Braun a little bit and did a hell of a job being the veteran in that match, and does not deserve the shit he gets from the fan base, and showed once again that he really is one of the top guys in the business, like him or not.
Okay, and let me explain what I mean by shove down your throat. I said Roman had a good match, and I thought he brought it. He was amazing in that match. I thought he even sold well. He sold well for Braun. But my issue is the booking, and that's always been my problem with Roman, is the creative around him. Did we really need the blood capsule at the end? Did we really need the ambulance door thing? I mean, come on. We just did that on Raw 3 weeks ago.
There's a mentality that you don't want a top guy to be beaten down so badly that they feel like the audience can't take them seriously anymore. And I think that might have been, I mean, you keep in mind, Strowman was coming off just absolutely destroying and decimating Roman, taking him off TV for 2 weeks. Followed that up with a victory, clean pin in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and then beating the shit out of him a little bit after the match, or trying to. So this was just a little bit of Vince trying to help Roman get some of his heat back. And in reality, really the only fucking thing Roman did was move out of the way. That was it. And he let Strowman run himself into an ambulance door. Do I love the fact that they had to get Roman a little bit of shine? No, I think it probably would have been better leaving Strowman, just ending the pay-per-view with Strowman standing over Reigns. But I kind of understand why they did what they did.
Yeah, that was my exact complaint. Was not the fact that what happened after the match was exactly what you said. It was them trying to give Roman his shine back and not just letting Braun have that moment of being that absolute monster.
But here that's the thing though. You still got to make money off of Roman.
Yeah,
you still got to have him be a credible guy in matches going forward. So they don't want their top guys in any scenario to be completely decimated. No,
I definitely see your point.
Cena loses 3 matches in a row to AJ. They want to have that moment where Cena stands in the ring and leaves his wristband, because that gives the fans something to think about Cena. It's not just, oh, he lost 3 matches in a row. There's something else for them to focus on. That's a formula they use a lot. So, like I said, it wouldn't have been the way I would have written it, but I sort of understand why they did.
Yeah, no, I just definitely feel like that there is a different way that they could have done it other than Roman refusing or attempting to refuse medical help while staggering around and spitting blood on a wall.
Yeah.
And the blood capsule never works for me.
No. And they've had a bad history with Roman and blood capsules before. I'm surprised they tried it again.
Just ask Byron Saxton.
Yes.
Adam, you had tweeted something after that match. Some poor guy's going to clean up that wall.
Yeah. So, some poor sap making minimum wage is going to clean that blood off that wall. It's very disrespectful. Okay.
I'm not done with your AIDS yet.
All right, gentlemen. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. House of
Hindies.
Horrors. And what a fucking horror show it was. Here's why I appreciate going into this before anything happened. Once they announced the stipulations, I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a backlot brawl thing where it starts there and ends up here. But what occurred to me afterwards is that the backlot brawl was never announced as, hey, it has to end in the ring. The backlot brawl was a thing that happened out there that happened to make it to the arena and end in the ring. The stipulation that this starts at the house and has to end in the ring just made this thing just so it just anyway. So we get to the house. Randy Orton pulls up to the House of Horrors in a stretch limousine.
Well, I thought it was a House of Horrors, so
I didn't know you could Uber limousines.
We'll talk about Uber in a minute. Wearing they were either khaki pants or jeans, no shirt, elbow pads. Okay. Interesting.
Have you ever sat with no shirt on leather seats? It's not the most comfortable thing in the world.
No, it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Interesting fashion choice, elbow pads.
I wonder what Breezango would say about that.
They would give him a ticket, and they would start a whole Law and Order episode about him.
Wee woo, wee woo.
And so we start off. We should have seen this coming, because we start the House of Horrors match with a haunted goddamn John Deere tractor.
Slowly rolls backwards.
Oh. Shit, son. It's on.
They didn't even have a haunted trailer in the thing with the New Day. Like seriously? We're going to have a fucking John Deere tractor roll backwards? Okay. And then we're going to go in the house, and he's like, Pray, where are you?
And it was inside the house wasn't even entertaining, because it was like, oh, hey, look at this room. Oh, Randy's getting beaten up in this room. Oh, Randy. Okay, Bray's disappeared again. Randy's okay. Here's another room. Oh, okay. There's baby dolls hanging from the ceiling. Okay. Oh, Bray's getting. I'm gonna beat up Randy in that room. Oh, okay. Here's another room. Oh, that's got a.
Dude,
twig.
Somebody needs to call DSS on IRS.
That's got the most Charlie Brown of Christmas trees in it. But he didn't. Oh, they're switching it up. He didn't get beat up in that room. And then the most horrific match, the most horrific room in the house, the kitchen.
It was so dirty.
Dirty dishes. Oh my God.
Did anyone notice there was a pen on the counter?
I did not see the pen on the counter. No.
I was like, what? In case some of the ghosts need to take notes? What the fuck is that?
They had to use something to write follow the buzzards and I'm here on the side of the fridge and whatever that fucking grease was.
Now, I'm sure we've all seen that somebody found the actual house that was used in the listing for it. I think it's selling for about $36,000.
Yep.
Um,
we posted the link on Facebook.
If you read the listing, I believe there's a thing saying, the basement has standing water. I would have loved to see him go down there and fight in the basement pool. That would have been fucking awesome. That would have really added to it. There's like dead rats floating around, all sorts of shit. That would have been fun. That would have been entertaining.
And then they would have died in 3 weeks.
Well,
Randy Orton has a case of amoebic dysentery.
I was going to say Randy Orton has died of dysentery.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
So Bray tips this.
No. Let's back up. Let's back up. We're not going to forget about, and I know you mentioned it, but it needs to be talked about more. The babies hanging in what was a baby room.
Well, hold on. They were dolls. Let's be very clear about this. Because
I said dolls. Sal did not specify dolls.
I apologize. The dolls that were all cut up and had makeup on and scissors stuck in them, and they were all like strung together with twine.
So this is the next door neighbor's house from Toy Story, is what this is.
I guess. I mean, why? Was there supposed to be some type of point to that?
Oh, it's creepy. Oh.
That was the point. Is just because Bray's a creepy guy.
Yep.
I mean, come on. What are we doing here? And here's the thing, and Adam, I know you've only watched a certain number of the broken Matt Hardy segments from TNA.
As in 0.
About half.
I think you watched one. I think you watched one.
We'll say half.
But when they did those segments, every single one of them, they did it with kind of a wink of, we know this is crazy. We're just trying to be out there and nuts.
Very tongue-in-cheek, yeah.
Yeah, WWE did this House of Horrors match like, you should be scared of this. And it came off, like you said, the entire arena chanting boring.
That fucking creepy background music that they played through the whole goddamn thing.
And then yes, the fridge. I'm going to push a fridge on you, and you'll never get up again.
He tips a fridge over onto Randy. That obviously rolls off of Randy immediately, and then leaves him. And then leaves him there and gets in the limo.
What they should have done is Bray walks into the kitchen. He's like, gets Randy down. Camera cuts to a close up on Bray. Randy, I'm gonna drop this fridge on you, Randy. And then he like pushes William Perry right on top of him.
That would have been great.
That would have been amazing. That would have been the tongue-in-cheek moment that made the whole thing amazing.
And this is the weird part. So Bray leaves the house.
Oh, this is the fucking weird part?
No. Wait. The whole thing that started all this was Randy Orton setting the shed on fire, right? And Bray leaves the house. And for a second, I thought, is he going to set the house on fire? And instead, he does his pose, and a red light just drapes over the house.
Yeah. So they've installed floodlights in the yard. It started out on blue, and now it's red, and that's totally creepy. We also didn't mention the
house got drafted from SmackDown to Raw.
Superstar shakeup. Well, Bray's a member of Raw now, so that makes sense. We also didn't mention when Randy gets out of the limo, the long tracking shot of him just looking at the house, and all of a sudden the light in the upstairs window just blinks on and off. Oh, haunted light switch. Oh,
paranormal activity. Driver, take me to the arena.
The other thing they could have done.
The arena, that's in at least 2 time zones away.
The other thing they could have done.
But it gets there in 20 minutes. Go ahead.
Is Bray gets into the limo after this whole thing, and turns out Randy's left Bray's gear bag in the limo, and Bray opens the gear bag and he goes, "What the?" And then they cut away.
There's just a giant turd in it.
Yes, Randy has shit in his gear bag.
His own gear bag.
That's what I would have done.
So as far as it being dark,
Bray Wyatt stumbling to the limo, like coughing, like he's having an asthma attack.
He was pretty blown up
because he tipped over a fridge. Gets into the limo, and then after the Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins match, gets out of the limo, and he's still fucking coughing. You didn't do that much. You got thrown through a wall. You tipped a fridge over.
It was the dust from the fridge. It was his allergies.
Hey, have you ever gotten thrown through a wall?
No.
Then who the fuck are you to judge? We need to ask Demon Ortiz because he's been thrown.
If we could get him for a sit down, that'd be awesome. Anyways,
Shout out to Jack Maverick.
yes, indeed.
I saw something on Twitter that when Bray got in the limo, he asked the driver for the jack for his headphones so he could sing. He's got the whole world in his hands to himself.
Well, he was singing. Yeah, the house that's at least 2 time zones away because it's pitch black.
No. It was still in San Jose. It's just that where Bray lives, it's dark in that part of the world. Always. 24/7.
Creepy. Well, he does have the power of Undertaker's lightning, so who knows? He may also be able to control the sun.
Undertaker to roll down the window and be like,
Where to, Bray? Classic.
And then they're gone. And they're like, okay, so now we're going to have the Samoa Joe Seth Rollins match. And everyone's like, what the fuck? Okay. And then, okay, so then they go back.
They didn't even give us the decency of, during Samoa Joe versus Rollins match, the helicopter view of the limo driving. Because again, it's still daylight in San Jose.
Yeah, the overhead Grand Theft Auto style. Just...
So we get Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins. The crowd is absolutely knackered because of that fucking bullshit. And then a limo appears.
Now, here's the thing. So, and this is not a rant. This is just a question. When they originally announced this House of Horrors match, I sort of envisioned, steel cage with a roof with a bunch of, instruments of torture or something that they could use.
The Ambrose Asylum, but for Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, but with less plants and more logic.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured that's where we were going to go.
Oh, yeah.
Or
I, of course, immediately pictured the Chamber of Horrors from Halloween Havoc 91.
Yeah. Or maybe a, well, Jesus Christ, Sally, it's way too close, pal. Maybe a, what's it, the boiler room brawl situation where
that's what I pictured, was something like that.
You have to get from where you start to the ring and collect an item or something like that.
The reason that worked is because that was entirely in the arena. So yeah, the boiler room part was pre-taped, but we didn't have this long ass segment of nothing while they drove to the arena.
Right. So you start at the house and then you have the whores in the ring and they have to get to the ring and grab the whores. Would have made perfect sense.
I was totally thinking boiler room brawl.
But
exactly what I was thinking.
They decided to do this where Bray makes his living off the catchphrase, "You'll never make it out of the House of Horrors, Randy," only to find out that to win the match, they both have to make it out of the House of Horrors.
They don't both have to. They kept saying forfeiture.
Was there anyone that thought this was going to end in a forfeit?
Of course not. Vince may have, but
so Randy decides to teleport back to the
Randy
arena.
has suddenly learned. Randy has either learned teleportation or had a really long Uber drive.
Yeah, stopped for a shave along the way,
long enough that he could shave in the car, which I'm sure the Uber driver loved because you got to vacuum that. Now you got to vacuum fucking beard hairs out of your backseat.
Yeah, and then he gets to the arena. And it seems like, okay, we're going to have this match now.
Bray Wyatt, full entrance, by the way.
Yeah,
lantern, fireflies, everything.
Really, why didn't we just have a regular fucking match? Because that's what this ended up as. I mean, it's really all it was at the end of the day. It was a no DQ match.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
So Randy gets to the ring, comes out, jumps Bray. Randy gets the upper hand. Jinder comes in, hits him with the belt, and then Bray ends up winning the match.
Yeah. Bray can't even win his own goddamn stupid match that he created without help from...
It was a House of Hindies and Horrors match. The Hindies were involved. I told you this from the fucking beginning. Nobody listens to me. Bray just took advantage of the stipulations of the match, okay?
Garbage. Hot garbage.
Here's what makes it worse is the next night, Bray says that Randy is forever trapped in the House of Horrors. Didn't we see him in the ring? I thought that's how the match ended.
The House of Horrors in his mind.
Oh. He's never going to talk about it again. And then
hold on, we can't talk about Raw yet. We haven't gotten to Sal's Raw voicemails.
There's something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was.
That you hate what they've done with Bray Wyatt creatively since WrestleMania.
No, but this match is so terrible that for the first time in its existence, WrestleCrap has inducted something less than a week after it happened. If you go to WrestleCrap.com, there is an induction live right now for the House of Horrors match. It's pretty great. I read it before we started the show. But for Christ's sakes, this was horrible.
You think this is going to be like Bray's staple match now?
Oh, God.
You know, like Kane had the Inferno match, and Undertaker had the casket match. Bray will have the House of Horrors match. Who do you think will be the next person to step into the House of Horrors? And will they use the same house in San Francisco or the fuck it was?
Poor Finn Balor.
Well, no, they're not going to go back to the well just yet. They're going to be Broken Matt versus Bray.
We Dean Ambrose. They can have a House of Horrors versus a Lunatic Asylum match.
There you go.
Will Mitch be there?
Mitch will be like the Little Shop of Horrors plant.
They'll start in the house. They'll start in the house, and then they'll get to the ring, and the ring will be the Ambrose Asylum match with the cage with all the weapons on it.
There you go.
Oh, garbage. So that was Payback.
That was Payback. Can we talk about Raw now?
Yes.
Yep, let's play Sal's voicemail.
Hey guys, it's Sal. I'm calling to talk about Raw this week.
Why is Sal calling with a dick in his mouth this week?
Oh.
The only problem with having Sal on the show is I have no Google Voice transcripts now. But anyway.
Dude, nobody listens to those. Even Jason gets up and leaves when you do those.
Yes, but sometimes you drop an N-bomb and sometimes they're entertaining.
That was not me. That was Tommy.
Occasionally we get a Blue Gallows and Carly Anderson or Veronica the fuck.
Yeah.
Veronica the fuck.
Or the N-bomb off those Google chat transcripts, and it makes it worth it. So
it does.
I'm usually sitting here reading something on my iPad, but I'm listening for that magical moment when it happens.
That magic moment.
The good news, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Celtics have completely taken away any interest in watching that. So I'm now fully invested in this.
Wow, I just looked at the score. You're not kidding.
Sports ball. So when are you guys starting your sports ball podcast?
Probably pretty soon, but I will say this on a quick note and a plug for the Sports Ball podcast.
Only
doesn't exist yet.
Network.
Somebody said that they couldn't win in Washington, and I vehemently argued with them today, and I guess they were right. Jesus Christ.
Holy shit. Allow me to apologize to everybody. I completely closed the chat window and didn't realize it. There's been a lot of shit going down here.
Smathers is like, what happened?
That's why we only have one viewer right now, because they all fucking left because you weren't paying attention to
this shit.
Let's see.
That dude with the name that sounds like spam left.
Yeah, CD Weekly Challenge.
Sounds like spam.
I did you enter a cross-dressing weekly challenge out? Person is. Troy asked, "How did you find our show?" No answer.
All right.
Smathers said, "Let's see what did Smathers say." He's very happy he didn't waste money on this.
Yeah, he responded to some of my live tweets saying, "Oh, I couldn't see it from the table I was at the restaurant. Sounds like I didn't miss much."
Says our replay of it was undoubtedly better than the actual pay-per-view was. Randy even had time to shave, which we touched on, and he's not getting used to he's getting used to the abuse from me. Listen, Smathers, I clicked on someone's picture, okay, and the chat went behind the screen, and I forgot it was gone. I'm sorry. I still love you, Smathers, but you didn't leave us voicemails, so you know.
Are you looking at those pictures again?
You mean the pictures I've got down there?
This
Yeah,
one?
those.
You talking about this one?
No, we'll get to those pictures in the news.
Yes, Raw.
What the nudes?
Oh, hi-oh.
We opened Raw with Alexa Bliss's coronation, and I Loved this segment.
I fucking gold. Everything.
Everything she did was fantastic.
Yep.
From my favorite part was the backing into Nia and like, oh, hey, hi, you're great, you're cool,
Yeah.
I like you. Okay.
I loved the reign of the queen is over. I'm the goddess. I thought that was great. I loved that she stepped on the podium and stood above everybody. The mic work was top notch.
Yeah, the whole thing was fantastic.
Everything about this was great until they went to the Teddy Long,
which Alexa accidentally slightly spoiled when she was talking to Nia. I'm glad you're on my team later, and they hadn't announced anything at that point yet.
No, they had. It was they had previously announced on WWE.com it was going to be Alexa and Nia versus Charlotte, Sasha, and Bailey.
Oh, okay.
And apparently somehow it got turned into like an 8-person tag.
Holla holla.
She was great during that whole segment. She literally talked down to everybody, which I thought was a nice touch. Where the fuck was Kurt Angle? Was Kurt Angle late to the arena or something? Because he missed like 2 segments he should have been in.
Yeah, the Dean Ambrose one particularly was weird.
Yeah, let me call Kurt Angle on the phone because that's ever happened in the past month.
That was great.
The fuck?
We haven't gotten there yet, but
I enjoyed the hell out of that, though.
Can we talk about that segment?
Sure.
Look, Alexa was great. The match was hot garbage. Dana Brooke actually had a decent night in the ring, which was surprising and nice to see.
It comes and it goes.
Yeah. Bailey was fine. Sasha was good. Everybody else was, what they are. Alicia Fox was the shits. Somebody isolated it. It was great. At one point, you could hear, I think Alicia was in a headlock or a front face lock or something. And I think it was Alexis yells, "Come on, Fox!" And then Fox is like, "I'm trying!" Which was but we need to talk about the Dean Ambrose, Finn Balor, Miz segment.
Oh, you mean the triple threat that was the setup for the triple threat was supposed to be a contendership for the Universal Championship until they remembered, oh wait, we don't have a Universal Championship.
Oh no, it's not that they didn't remember, it's that they called Paul and Paul laughed at them and hung up on him.
So what happened was so Miz, Finn, and Seth Rollins. Seth freaking Rollins. Come out and they all basically stake their claim to. Well, first off, Finn Balor's got the only one that's got a legitimate claim to the Universal Championship because he never lost it, never got a rematch. So
seems to be the thing with the Universal title.
It seems to be the thing with every title because AJ still hasn't gotten his fucking one-on-one rematch either.
Neither will Bray.
The saddest part of this whole thing to me was Dean Ambrose coming out and sort of waving the Intercontinental title around and go, hey guys, remember this thing? Anybody want this thing? This thing right here? This belt? I have this if anybody wants it. And everybody was kind of like, fuck, whatever, dude. I want the Universal title. I want the belt that's not here. It just kind of made the Intercontinental title look like the shits to me. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I think it gets worse because later on in the night, that's all Michael Cole did was talk up the Intercontinental title. And even during the triple threat, the prestigious Intercontinental title, look how bad these guys are fighting for it. And I'm like, no, dude, nobody cares about it. People forgot Dean Ambrose even had it.
The guys that they just put on TV didn't want it. It was an afterthought for them.
They were like, really? Yeah, okay, if it's here, I guess.
Yeah. And the good news is the Miz wins the triple threat, so we get more of the Miz versus Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I was looking for something new, but I like the way that they did that because they also branched off the Balor versus Bray.
Yes, they did. I loved the match.
More of Rollins.
The match itself has been fantastic.
Yeah, the match was great, and I thought it was really well done in that they set up everybody's feud coming out of it. I thought it was really well booked. I just don't want to see the Miz and Ambrose anymore.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I'm fine. Everything else that happened, I'm great with. I would rather see Ambrose versus Maurice.
There's your House of Horrors match.
And Renee Young's not even around, so we can't even go to the mixed tag we were supposed to get.
Well, they could always bring her in just for that if they wanted to, but I think we're gonna get Miz with the IC title
this week.
I thought Renee looked great.
No, something was off.
No.
Well, like Kevin
My
Owens said, she
pants.
got her hair cut by a blind person. So
And she was dressed like Beetlejuice. But anyway,
Oh, yeah, that outfit was not good. I was talking smack, but yeah, no, that the Beetlejuice thing was not flattering at all.
anyway,
Beetlejuice.
I'm assuming the end game is to have Miz with the Intercontinental title, but
Which he should, but here's my problem with that, and this is what sort of was touched on a little bit by AJ Styles, I think, on Talking Smack, which was great. The Miz was pretty much a top of the card guy on SmackDown. He was a main eventer on that show. He comes over to Raw, and he's pretty much back to being comic relief. And,
as is most people when they come over from SmackDown to Raw at this point.
yeah. And we'll get to Talking Smack in a little bit, but I think AJ kind of nailed it right on the head. So
I was just thinking that. What do we think of the Kurt Angle promo with Bray Wyatt?
interesting.
Yeah, a good word for it. Wyatt does another one of those Wyatt promos where he says a lot without actually saying anything.
Did you see? Have you seen somebody did a mashup? I think it was on the Squared Circle Reddit. Somebody put together this mashup on YouTube. It's basically
I shared it on our Facebook page.
Okay, great. Bray Wyatt talking shit about everyone he faces and then losing every match.
Yep. Yeah.
Bray Wyatt, I think I saw on Cage Side. I think it was Cage Side. Bray Wyatt's winning percentage on televised matches like 30%. It's horrific.
It's a shame.
Matches where he has a hologram, he's won.
He wasn't even part of that match.
And we still have not gotten any physical Sister Abigail.
Sure we have. She was just covered in
rubbed all over Bray's face.
Yeah, she's covered in maggots and then used later to turn Bray into blackface.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt basically comes out, talks to Kurt Angle, says he has plans. Not going to tell us what the fuck they are, but he has plans. And Kurt Angle better stay the fuck out of his way.
By the way, can we just say for a second, did Kurt fucking Angle really say that the House of Horrors was the most physical match he'd ever seen in his life? Like, dude, you threw Shane McMahon through like 4 fucking plate glass windows.
Well, no, it was the same plate glass window. It was just 6 times because it wouldn't break.
No, there was 2 different ones. There was one
that's right. They went out
on the stage and then one to get back out.
That's right.
To be fair, Angle's had a few concussions, so I'm sure this is the last match he can remember.
And so has Shane, thanks to that fucking plate glass.
Well, if we've learned anything from this week's Talking Smack, it's that you can throw someone through a glass window and then be friends very quickly afterwards.
Yeah, just ask Maori Jannetty.
He still hasn't forgiven Shawn Michaels. By the way, can we?
And he still can't walk.
Can we point out the irony of when they had a long feud about it way back in the day, but Miz was right. Morrison turned out to be the Jannetty. Who would have fucking guessed?
Yeah. Yep. Thanks, Melina.
Well, now he's getting some of that Taya stuff too. So
yeah. He's on Lucha Underground, right?
Yes.
Yes, Johnny Mundo.
I still haven't watched that on Netflix.
You should.
I've been told that. It's on my list. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Do you know how much shit? You know how far behind I am on podcasts. How fucking far behind do you think I am on Netflix?
So let me explain something to you about the podcasts. Sometimes you just have to fucking let it go. Okay? Because not all that shit is evergreen. A lot of that stuff you're backed up on doesn't fucking matter anymore. You know, the Stone Cold Steve Austin review of Battleground 2005, you don't need to fucking listen to. You know? Listen to CM Punk on Art of War so you can realize what a fucking bitch he is. And then just listen to current shit. That's it. That's all I gotta do.
Speaking of current shit, not to go off on a different topic, but Jason, did you happen to catch
Jason's news? He's gonna be fucking mad.
No. But Jason, did you happen to catch Kenny Dykstra on Out of Wrestling?
I didn't. I don't always listen to Art of Wrestling. It's one of the ones that kind of like it has to be a really compelling guest for me to get into it.
Speaking of Kenny, though, the Spirit Squad in ROH now.
They had one match, yeah.
But I was surprised. I didn't know he came up in this area. trained with Slick Wagner Brown.
Yeah, yep. Absolutely.
And he was like 13 when he did it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot of guys that came through that area, including Eddie Edwards, who was actually trained by Slick Wagner Brown. And we touch upon that in the Rundown Sit Down, which is available in the Rundown feed this coming Monday.
Booyah.
Indubitably.
What else happened on Raw?
That's all I got from Raw.
So Golden Truth needs to go away. I don't need them to get a title shot. They just need to leave.
Oh yeah, Jesus.
Get released.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that tag team turmoil match next week.
Speaking of getting Raw and needing a release, the Charlotte pictures. Never mind. More on that later.
What do you guys think about what they're doing with Apollo Crews? I mean, they're trying something.
The best thing I saw about this whole Apollo Crews Titus O'Neil thing was that Crews gets a mouthpiece and O'Neil stays out of the ring.
That's a good point.
I do you remember I remember back when I was in school and they were doing math classes and they tried to tell you that 2 negatives equal to positive. Maybe 2 lacks of personality equals a personality. Maybe we'll find that out. Who knows?
Apollo Neil.
Although I will say I thought it was kind of cool that they did the segment where Apollo is asking for new dad advice and then Titus walks in because dude is father of the year. You would think he'd be the first one you'd go to.
Yeah, but Heath Slater's shirt says, "I got kids." It's an obvious choice.
Have you ever seen Heath Slater's kids?
Well, I've seen the actors that they hired to portray Heath Slater's kids.
Right. But we've seen Titus O'Neil's real kids.
Yeah, we saw him kiss him on the mouth.
Yeah.
Speaking of comic relief, Heath and Rhino are on TV for comic relief.
Yay.
Yeah.
And again, they decide to throw a bunch of cruiserweights into the ring in a 6-man and nobody cares. When are they going to stop? Like, I don't see the point of having them on Raw anymore. I really don't. Doesn't further any storylines, doesn't get anybody over. What is the point of the cruiserweight still on Raw?
Well, allow me to say this, and I don't say this because I don't say this because I'm bitter at all about the results of this week's Rundown Fantasy League.
No,
but you have the ability to have your best cruiserweights on 2 shows a week, and Jack Gallagher was on one. Neville did an interview on one show, and that was it. A backstage promo with TJP. That was it. Neville's not front and center. The fuck? I don't know. I don't know what they do anymore. I've put out the formula on how you fix 205 Live. Nobody's listening at this point. They steal all my other ideas, but when I tell you how to fix 205 Live, you don't listen. I don't get it.
I'm not lying. No, high flying. I'm not lying.
Hey, there was a fan in the crowd that had a no-fly zone sign.
Believe it or not,
getting over.
That's actually getting over. But Jason's
and you know
right.
what? People are listening to it because Rich Swann didn't do any high flying in his match. It was just a fucking headlock. So,
but why not have Neville come out the day after Payback and gloat how he kept the belt? I mean, that's the first segment you should write for the cruiserweights.
Because he has a lackey now.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? I'm glad that TJP beat up Aries after the match, and you know, Booker T was saying, he didn't say win the match, he said take care of the problem. Shucky ducky. But but it was all right in that regard. But again, Neville should have had more of a presence. There's no reason why Neville can't come out and cut a promo. And in fact, that would have worked better than the fucking 6-man tag that nobody cared about.
That's what they do. They can't establish any credible talents in terms of the fans because they don't have any credible characters. They've taken no time to develop these characters. They just throw them in 6-man tags, and they've fucking neutered them. They've taken away all the cool flips and shit that they do that actually got them over in the Cruiserweight Classic, and they've told them not to do it. Work a safe style. Okay, well, now you've just got guys smaller than the heavyweights doing the same style the heavyweights do. I don't know why you would think that would get over.
And they put the time and creative into Alicia Fox.
Yeah. Well, I mean, say what you want about that angle. It's gotten Noam Dar over.
He might be the only one.
Well,
didn't do anything for Rich Swann.
Well, Rich Swann was like a week and a half, and that was it. So,
is that it for Raw?
I hope so.
Yes. Moving on to SmackDown.
Raw discussion at this point is as dead as the Celtics' chances of winning this game.
Oh.
Every time I look over at the Sox game, they don't actually have the score on screen, so I don't actually know what's going on. So SmackDown, I only have a couple notes from SmackDown. I'm sure you guys have more. But Aiden English, Drama King, Massive Crybaby?
Crying gimmick, full effect.
Why is this a thing?
Because he's going to cry every single time somebody beats him now. Every single time somebody yells at him. Hell, Renee's going to make him cry next week.
You mean Ronnie?
You know what happens when you cry? You know what happens? Listen, at least Aiden English didn't get released, but at the same point in time, if this is going to be his creative, he's going to be more of a jobber than Kurt Hawkins was on SmackDown.
We didn't get a Kurt Hawkins challenge on Raw this week either.
That's because they forgot he still works there.
Yeah, we had to do all that. We had to do all that follow up from Payback.
You know, the Raw pay-per-view, but that's okay. Whatever.
The Raw exclusive pay-per-view that sent Jericho to SmackDown.
Let's talk about Jinder Mahal. I liked how they opened the show when he was taking pictures. Yeah, take the picture with the title, and then Shane comes up behind him.
I somehow managed to completely miss this segment. I don't know how the fuck I did.
How SmackDown started, man.
I know, and I completely missed it somehow.
I thought that was really stupid. Really stupid. So, first off, it's like somebody looked up the word absconded in the dictionary because they must have used that at least 15 times between the pay-per-view and SmackDown.
In abeyance.
I was going to say it's like a band.
Yeah. But so Jinder steals the title the week before, uses it to hit Orton at the pay-per-view. Now, if you've got stolen property, not necessarily the smartest move to bring it to work and wave it around in front of people, but okay. Then Shane comes over and says, hey, I need you to give me the belt. And Jinder goes, all right.
Okay.
And that was it. No Orton on the show at all to come back and like that. To me, he was
so horrified that
well, he's still trapped in the House of Horse.
Trapped in San Jose, exactly.
But for me, if you're going to do that angle, you need to have Orton come out and get some of his heat back by beating up Jinder and taking his title belt back, rather than just having Shane hand it back to him, because it kind of takes all the heat off Randy in that point.
The way they played it off as Jinder knew he wasn't supposed to have the title. That's why he was rushing to take pictures with it. Shane McMahon, the authority figure, says, "Hey,
he knows he's never going to have it again." So.
He knows that's his last chance.
Oh, so you think?
No, I
don't. But for what it's worth, for what they're doing with him with the Bollywood Boys, or I'm sorry, the Singh brothers, which is weird that they changed their name. Like we knew them as Herb and Merv.
Herp and Derp.
Why did we have to rename them just because they were Jinder?
Because they're actually getting somewhat of a push now.
Because they went transgender.
That is actually a question that I was thinking of. Given that this whole Jinder thing is happening because WWE is moving into India, we actually had a Hindi announced team at Payback. Jinder, you think Jinder's getting a run with the title?
It's possible. I mean, they're trying to build him as much as they can between now and Backlash, and it would definitely shock a lot of people if he walked away from Backlash with that title, and maybe that's good for business. I'm not against it.
Here, It's tough to tell. And they've set up Rusev to be the next guy at Money in the Bank.
Right, but as we talked about in the host thread, there's a history with Jinder and Rusev
Right,
as well.
that's what I was
they
gonna
can still
say.
do that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So they could go really either way with that one. I could see them putting it on Jinder only to have him drop it back quickly, but I don't see Jinder having a run with it right now.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to be, taking that title all the way to SummerSlam, but will he win it and have a 3-week-long reign? I mean, fuck, Bray did, so why not?
I appreciate the work that they're doing to make Jinder look credible and to kind of deflect everything that happened on Raw and how Jinder was not a credible threat to anyone, anything at any time when he was on Raw, and how they're in doing that, they're also pushing the Shane McMahon SmackDown as the place for opportunity thing as well. So I do appreciate what they're doing to legitimize Jinder going into this match at Backlash. Right. But I'm still not sure that going into Backlash, I will still find him a credible threat to Randy Orton and the WWE Championship.
Well, I think having a stable is kind of what makes him a credible threat.
Sure.
I was going to say, because of the Singh brothers and because of, honestly, everybody's reactions towards Jinder in the crowd, I mean, it is working. He is getting heat.
Yeah.
People are going to riot if he wins that title. If Jinder wins, we riot. Oh, they are in Chicago, too, so.
Do you think we can make this a Punjabi prison match?
Here's for hoping. Can you imagine what the Chicago crowd's going to do if Jinder Mahal wins the WWE title?
From the House of Horrors to the Punjabi prison.
These are the assholes that still worship CM Punk. Are you kidding me?
All right. What else do I got from SmackDown?
How about the focal point of Backlash? The guy who's been in 10 Backlash commercials since Payback, and that's Shinsuke Nakamura.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had Dolph Ziggler warm up against Sin Cara this week.
Sin Cara wearing all-sleeved shirts, long-sleeve shirts, because he got tattoos when he wasn't supposed to.
That's what they say. I don't know how much of that I believe. Who knows? The guy was already all tatted up. I don't think it fucking matters.
That's what they say, they being Troy.
Unless he went full Ron and Don Harris and got the SS tattoos and needed to cover them up, but I kind of doubt that. So,
is that a goddamn swastika? God damn it, Unico!
Fuck that guy. Fuck the Sin Cara gimmick. That thing is just a waste of fucking time.
It could be done right. It could be. It's like anything else, Sal.
Dude, they've tried for like 5 years now.
Have they? Have they really tried?
Have they tried?
When did they try?
Dude, Sin Cara was in the IC title match last year at WrestleMania. Sin Cara!
They needed a fucking body that could jump off ladders. That was all that was for.
And Neville got hurt.
Wasn't he in one of the Scooby-Doo movies too?
That is true. No, is Shinsuke getting the right treatment on SmackDown? Are they building him right by holding off his first match until Backlash?
First off, I believe it's Backrash.
And he calls you the racist one.
But absolutely, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely.
We talk all the time about how they don't make guys feel special. They're doing something that makes Shinsuke feel special, as Adam plays with his nipples.
I have a pain in my sternum. My nipples are down here.
What are you, Charlotte?
No, they're minor level.
Are they on the Neville level?
They're on
the nipple level.
They're on the A double level.
Oh no, those are at least C's, Adam. Don't sell yourself short.
You call me fat?
No, I'm just saying your tits are glorious.
Glorious.
All right, there you go. I don't even fucking know what I was saying. All right, never mind. I don't remember.
You were building up
Shinsuke by not having him have matches.
Yes, so they're making him feel special, which is something they don't do often enough.
Definitely.
And I'm okay with it. And I think Ziggler's going to be a good opponent for him. My bigger problem is that Ziggler did nothing to kind of get heat back on Shinsuke this week, where Shinsuke's not going to be on the show is all well and good, but Ziggler has to be relentless and hammer in the fact that he's fighting Shinsuke and that there's a history now to this feud.
Well, they had him talk about it backstage after the Backlash commercial.
If only he had super kicked a green screen, I could have taken this more.
Or how about one of the extras who we had no idea who the fuck they were, but they were there talking to Dolph like they've been there for years.
Talking to randos.
He should have super kicked one of them.
Then Shane showed up out of the blue.
Like he's been doing.
The only cliche missing from that segment was Dolph going, "He's right behind me, isn't he?"
Dolph should have super kicked somebody. And then as Dolph walks away, the camera pans down on the person he just super kicked, and you just see a name tag that says, "Hi, my name is Stan."
Full circle.
I was just gonna make a Stan joke too.
One thing I got a question though, they have refrained from calling Shinsuke the King of Strong Style on SmackDown.
No, he's the artist.
He's the artist. I don't like that tweak, and it's something Vince is famous for, is to tweak a guy's character when he gets up to the main roster.
Oh, I fucking hate it. I think it's horrible.
Yeah,
But
I agree. There's no reason for it. That King of Strong Style shirt was selling like crazy. And now you're going to tweak him as the artist? Why? There's no point in it.
The artist formerly known as Shinsuke, formerly known as Goldust. What was I going to say? Oh, during Payback, they play that Backlash commercial, and the Backlash commercial is just Shinsuke's theme song and video of Shinsuke.
Sorry. The what commercial?
The Backlash commercial.
Backlash.
So you can say it. And so I literally during Payback was like, why the hell are they doing a promo vignette for Shinsuke Nakamura during Payback? And I was like, oh, that's the Backlash commercial. It's so there's nothing in that promo to indicate that it's for the pay-per-view until the very end when they put the logo up and go, oh, Backlash pay-per-view, May whatever.
It's done on purpose. It's making you think of Shinsuke Nakamura. Oh, this guy's awesome. Look at this guy's fighting style. And then at the end, Backlash. Ooh, I get to see him at Backlash. So
all I can tell you is if when he fights Dolph Ziggler, he doesn't get like neon effects when he gives him the Kinshasa, I'm going to be very disappointed.
That's a good point.
I want some Street Fighter shit in this match. If Nakamura doesn't give him the Hadouken, I'm fucking turning it off. I'm just saying.
Speaking of Street Fighter, since you brought it up, Drew Gulak's music, is that like a version of a Street Fighter song? Because
it's track 5 on the generic music CD.
Telling you, man, it sounds like a video game song. But
see, Adam Smathers says it's weird that they keep spelling Backrash wrong. He's with me.
You guys can say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Kevin Owens.
Yes, Kevin Owens.
By the way, Adam is perfectly okay with them holding off Nakamura's debut because the less Asians on the show, the happier he is.
Oh,
we have to edit shit out again. We had to do that in months.
More work for Adam. He's gonna have enough work with me sending him my audio file later on. So
I'm gonna do one episode at some point randomly where I just do that the whole show. Sorry, guys, we couldn't put an episode together this week.
Yeah, there's no episode this week. I couldn't get. I'm gonna have to do another episode on Friday with like Andy and Troy.
Smathers says true point. He knows. He knows what's up. Smathers and I are a tag team now.
Kevin Owens attempts to murder Chris Jericho after winning back the United States Championship.
Haven't seen that spot since CM Punk did that to Jeff Hardy a few years ago.
Fuck CM Punk.
CM Punk, I hate him.
Fuck CM Punk.
Hashtag
Forced anal.
There we go.
I just really hope that Chris Jericho is not too hurt for his band song to be used as the theme song for NXT TakeOver Chicago.
TakeOver Chicago.
So you knew that...
Pretty sure the Mafia did that already, but
so you knew for a fact Kevin Owens was winning the belt back. I mean, the guy started wearing the KO United States of America shirt. Obviously, he's gonna hold on to that belt for a little while. So it gets back to my original point: why have him lose it and then just win it back 48 hours later?
Because arson. Oh, no, that's a different thing. Never mind. Sorry, that was Randy Orton. I was thinking of.
Yeah, why couldn't we have Kevin Owens try to murder Chris Jericho on Payback? Do they need Chris Jericho on SmackDown that badly, given that he's now going to be gone for a few months?
By the time he comes back, he's probably going to show up on Raw anyway. And they'll just hope you forgot.
I thought it was a good match.
No, the match
the
was
match
good.
was fine. The match was fine. Owens attacking anybody and going ballistic is always a plus if it's on my TV. But I don't know. Does AJ win at Backlash? Or do they kind of draw that out for the next couple pay-per-views?
No, I think the Face of America thing is going to go on, and I hope it does because it's fucking great.
Definitely.
They gave him a new shirt, new gear, so this is something I think they're going to run with for a while.
The gear, is it me or does it look like the Fight Owens fight on his shorts was added after the fact with like electrical tape?
They're going to run with this Kevin Owens Face of America gimmick for a while until all of a sudden we hear the music of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
And then the conspiracy theory will be completed.
It's not a conspiracy theory if it's true.
All right.
That would have worked great if Kurt Angle hadn't already come back to the company and been relegated to be the Raw GM.
Hey, Jack Swagger's still out there, just saying.
We the people.
Or
no, who you kidding? He's going to TNA.
Or in Charlotte's case, we the people.
All right. Anything else?
I know you want to talk about Breezango, Adam, so please.
I loved the hell out of this Fashion Police segment that they did. I thought that thing was great. If Breezango gets the titles, I will be an incredibly happy man after Backlash.
There is a good chance they do. I mean, you don't see the Usos on TV. You don't even see them on Talking Smack anymore at this point.
Yeah, of course. The problem is if the Breezango wins the titles, we'll never see them on television.
Exactly. But Breezango are more entertaining at this point than the Usos are.
Well, we also haven't seen American Alpha this week. We didn't see Shining Stars this week. SmackDown is where tag teams go to die.
No, it's not just tag teams though, because SmackDown has got so many people at this point that it's like NXT. They can't fit everybody on every week.
Right. So they've fit American Alpha on 3 times in the past 4 months.
Yeah.
Again, it's where tag teams go to die.
Maybe SmackDown should be 3 hours.
Or you could just kill.
It would be more entertaining than Raw's.
Jason was going to say something about killing 205 Live.
Yeah, kill 205 Live and just give the 3rd hour to SmackDown. Make it the SmackDown bonus hour.
Power hour. Yeah.
How about instead we'll kill off 205 Live and then we'll replace it with Tag Team Wet Dream, and we'll just have all the tag teams on one show for an hour.
Is Teddy Long the GM of that show?
Holla holla.
Would he also be the GM of that show if the Welcoming Committee was in a match?
Fuck that.
What a fucking garbage, lazy fucking stable name. I thought they were kidding until they said it about 9 times. I'm like, wait a minute, is that what they're actually calling them? The Welcoming Committee?
And fucking branding, pal.
I did appreciate Becky pretending to join them and then throwing Ellsworth into Tamina.
We Googled this first this time, right?
Wait a second. Is this committee like CUM or because goddamn pal, it's. I'm just saying, welcoming is 2 words.
All righty.
I actually enjoyed their segments, though. I thought they did a nice job as a group on TV this week.
I thought the tease with Becky Lynch was good because we had talked about it last week. How where does Becky fall in all this? So she's not turning heel. She's not teaming with the Welcoming Committee at this point. It hurts to say that.
Hmm.
And then she got the shit kicked out of her. So.
Did you like her going to hug Ellsworth though, and then throwing him into Tamina?
Can we just call them? Can we just give them Troy's name and just call them cunt?
You can call him that.
Well, let's see.
It was Carmella.
Carmella uses the cone of silence. Natalia uses the sharpshooter, and I forget what Tamina uses. But why don't we just call them the submission sorority?
I think that's taken.
So you figured out what it stands for. It's Carmella, useless, Natalia, Tamina. Because Ellsworth is useless. Cunt.
I don't know. Carmella's pretty useless.
So we're editing out my little offhand joke, but you drop C-bombs on the rig, and that's cool. Okay, got it.
Just so we're clear.
Not a C-bomb if it's an acronym.
Yeah, because that's the only time you've ever used it on the show, right?
See you next Tuesday.
Well, Thursday in this case.
Thursday, yeah.
I actually I was walking to my car this evening after work. I was like, what if I just said that at the end of the podcast? Anyway, I got nothing else from SmackDown.
Mercifully, I do not either.
Okay. Sal?
Except Ty Dillinger changed his finisher.
Yeah, that was my last note from SmackDown. I like it.
From the tiebreaker to the face breaker.
No, it looks good. It looks like a new. He starts it off like an F5, and then it just lands on his knee. I love it.
I wonder if it's just AJ uses the Ushigoroshi and it's just like, hey, dude,
probably
it's one of my deals.
Probably.
I can't use it as a setup move if you're using it as a finisher. You know.
I feel like they would have only done that if Morrow was still announcing,
or the other way around.
Ushigoroshi.
Or the other way around, where Ty can't use it as a finisher if AJ is only using it as a setup. So,
right.
But yeah, no, I like the new move.
Ty Dillinger's got to get a match at Backlash, right?
Backlash. Yeah, probably.
Like scabies.
And if he does, it's not going to be against Aiden English, is it?
No, it's Jack Swagger.
Okay. Nothing happened on 205 Live, as we've discussed.
Except for what Corey Graves said to Tom Phillips, which was fucking hilarious.
It's in the news.
All right, we'll leave it for those.
Apparently, it's in the news. Which brings us to NXT. Did you guys watch NXT?
I did.
Okay.
Sal has to watch everything now, so
I don't have a choice. They're like, "What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be working?" I got my phone out. I'm like, "Oh, nothing."
Stop watching porn at work, Sal.
No, I'm watching NXT. They don't like that much more. They are putting a lot of character development into Roddy Strong.
Yep.
I didn't know half the shit that happened in his life. I didn't know that his mother shot his father. I mean, that shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is much needed for that character.
Yeah.
It's been really cool. I particularly loved that they had him working out in the WWE PC in a Ring of Honor t-shirt.
They didn't hide it either.
And then they showed pictures from Ring of Honor, and he talked about Ring of Honor. So, Ring of Honor coming to the network, confirmed.
No, his whole story was great, both parts from last week and this week, and then he's in a number one contenders match next week against Itami, which he's got to win, right? Because I don't see Itami.
I don't know. They've already been building up Rude versus Itami for Chicago, though.
Smathers on the side says, let's piss off Adam and talk about how great Hideo Itami is and how sad we are Tajiri has left the company.
Oh, God. So
I love Tajiri.
I know that Kenta was an amazing wrestler for the past 15, 20, whatever, many years, but there's something missing for him in NXT. I don't see it.
It's called a personality.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't have one, man. But you know what? You could get over if you're just hitting guys hard and having great matches, but he doesn't even do that because he's not on TV half the time.
He was starting to get over as a face, and then he got injured. They brought him back, and he was kind of starting to become a heel by beating up all the losers on the Cruiserweight Classic, and then he got injured.
I mean, the biggest pop for him was when he finally did the GTS, and now that he's done it, it's like, okay, now what else you got?
Yeah, but I really think we're still building towards. They're gonna have this match next week, but I really still think we're building towards a Tommy versus Rude for the title at the.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I guess he deserves it.
Backlash.
He's been with the company for like 9 years.
And CD Weekly Challenges back in the house on the side and says, "It's me, stank ass."
That's gotta be Troy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Spambot. Well, Heavy Machinery
followed it up with "I'm back."
Yeah, Heavy Machinery comes out, defeats another pair of jobbers.
Oh, sorry. Apparently, young sluts are waiting for me, so I gotta go.
in your area.
Click on that link.
Troy, Sal knows from personal experience.
I don't want to have to drive to friggin' Marlboro again.
Heavy Machinery,
Because you get lost again.
Comes out, defeats another pair of jobbers, and decides that they should get championship matches because they've beat approximately nobody.
You guys talk about there's no tag team representation on SmackDown. Where are the fucking NXT tag team champions? Because I haven't seen them in months.
They're waiting, watching.
They can't go on NXT and have a squash match? I mean, what the fuck?
They are the NXT Tag Team Champions, Sal. They have a plethora of responsibilities.
So do the Usos, apparently.
Well, the Usos have a dead cousin, so that's what they've probably... No, but in all seriousness, that's probably what they've been dealing with. They haven't seen Roman Reigns on TV much lately either, save for the pay-per-view, which he was already obligated to be at.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Smather says they've been off writing a book about pain.
Later on in the episode, Gargano and Ciampa are interviewed, and they're like, no. The line starts back here, buddy.
Yep.
Which is a shame that they're still down there, but...
Can we talk for 1 second about Heavy Machinery and the finish? Because I had a real issue...
Stakes and weights!
...with them. That I was fine with. I thought that was funny. I enjoyed that. My issue was, I think it was Otis, throws one guy into the other guy, and they just share this loving embrace while they wait to be picked up together. Like fucking Human Centipede style until they get crushed. It just seemed really fucking... I mean, that was one of those things where it just gets so bogus, it's hard to even take seriously.
That was a little weird. I don't know. I think Heavy Machinery needs a lot more work. I don't think they're
I like them.
A finished product, though. They seem like, I don't want to say green, because I think they've worked other places, but...
Nobody in NXT is a finished product. That's why they're in NXT.
I would argue Drew McIntyre is a finished product.
I would argue that he was not a finished product in terms of WWE. If Bobby Roode is not considered by WWE a finished product...
That's because Vince can't see anymore. He's fucking blind. Literally, I mean, he is like 95 years old, right?
Wow.
Or are these guys just down there to enhance the NXT brand?
These guys are down there to sell tickets because NXT became a touring brand.
Have you guys seen this screenplay for the Vince McMahon movie that's floating around the internet?
No, but I'm sure it's amazing.
Is De Niro playing Vince McMahon?
There's references to Vince meeting Linda while Linda was working at a strip club. Apparently he found Jimmy Snuka in a porno. There's a lot of really interesting shit in there. Now, a lot of it I think is creative license. I don't know how much of it is real. But if you
the Vince McMahon story, written, directed, and produced by Vince McMahon.
If you get a chance, go on the internet and find this script because it's out there, and just do yourself a favor and read it because it's great.
Okay. The only other note that I have from NXT is the ending of the women's battle royal. It was so bizarre to me because it was basically a battle royal basically ended in a disqualification.
Yeah, that happens all the time, doesn't it? It's like all those other great battle royals.
Here's what happens all the time, and it's getting annoying.
No.
The only thing missing was Vince running out and blowing out his quads. That was it.
Well, pretty much.
Yeah. In any other battle royal, in any Royal Rumble, if someone who's not in the match or who's already been eliminated from the match comes out and eliminates people, they're fucking eliminated. Asuka comes in, does one thing to Ember Moon, and the bell rings.
Yeah. I mean, Asuka fucked her up, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
I don't know if she was supposed to hit the post and then missed. I can't imagine that was the planned spot that we saw.
Yeah, into the barricade from the ring, yeah.
Not touching anything, just straight through the ropes, straight out to the floor, face first into the barricade.
Ouchies.
I feel like NXT does this a lot, where they'll do a number one contenders match. The champion will come out and fuck up the match, and then all of a sudden it becomes a triple threat, a fatal four-way. I mean, it's kind of trite.
We just had a fatal four-way women's match 2 takeovers ago.
Yeah, exactly.
With 2 of the same people that are in this one. And what are we going to do with the Iconic girls? Because they need a fucking spot.
I thought they were brilliant in this battle royal, though.
I mean, I have a spot for both of them, but
wow. Jason's upset that Billy Kay was back to wearing the one-piece bathing suit.
It's just not as good a look. Yes.
Why do you look? I have a feeling this has a lot to do with Stephanie McMahon. She doesn't want certain girls looking good on TV. She just doesn't, because they look like fucking crap.
She brought Alexa Bliss to Raw. I mean, come on.
Did she though?
And I don't know how much influence Stephanie has over the wardrobe people at NXT. So,
you know what? The wardrobe people in NXT should be fired. Look what they did to Cassius Ohno.
It's true. It's not a good look.
No. Tuck it in. It'll be fine.
That's what they told Kris Jenner.
It was Bruce Jenner. So.
Oh,
Bruce.
Whatever. Same thing.
Yeah. Swing and a miss.
We should be used to that by now.
They can't all be home runs.
Yeah, so at TakeOver Backlash, we've got a fatal four-way for the Women's Championship.
Which I don't see Asuka losing the title in that either.
Yeah, Asuka, Ember Moon, Nikki Cross, and Ruby Riott. And yeah, I don't see Ember taking the title at TakeOver Backlash.
I would think they'll do a TakeOver Brooklyn 3, and Ember will get a one-on-one match with Asuka, and that's where she'll finally win it. And then maybe we spin off to what we should be getting at Backlash Chicago, which is Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross in a no DQ match.
Has anyone else noticed that Ruby Riott looks like Rachel Dratch?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Here comes Ruby Downer.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there.
Did you guys see that new girl that came in the Battle Royal that was like the sister of Gonzalez?
The who?
Her name was literally like Jennifer Gonzalez. She was like 8 feet tall.
Oh, no, I didn't see her.
No.
I mean, I see 8-foot women all the time. They don't stand out at all. So
Interesting. We talked. Somebody touched briefly. Actually, it might have been you, Jason. Touched briefly on the host thread, but no discussion really happened. Is that they brought in these people that we haven't seen before for this women's battle royal.
Yeah.
But there were women's competitors from NXT that were not in the battle royal.
Noticeably and most notably to me was Mandy Rose, because we've seen her on NXT. She's done a good job when we've seen her. She's hot as hell. Any chance to get her on TV should be utilized. And fucking nothing. And that's probably not a good sign for her.
Yeah. Daria Baronato, or whatever the fuck her new name is.
Oh, no, she was there.
Was she?
Yeah, was. Sonya, whatever. Yeah, she was
Sonya there. Something. And you would never have known it because they just pretend she was a new person.
But where was Rachel Ellering?
She was there.
Here's where me and Jason are going to argue.
Hold on. Rachel Ellering was in there, Adam.
Was she?
Rachel
Yes,
Evers is Rachel
Evers. Yep.
Macy Evans is a hot girl, and she's doing this like old school pinup gimmick.
Yeah,
which I wasn't crazy about.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. Here's where me and Jason are going to argue. Adam, you may want to sit back for this one.
Oh, please.
Cool. I love to argue.
So Mandy Rose.
This is why I like having two co-hosts, because I can just sit back
and masturbate,
which he does frequently.
Can't see his hands most of the time. Just saying.
Mandy Rose, from the few matches I saw with her on TV, was further along than Eva Marie ever was, as far as in-ring awareness and the moveset. And I thought she was really learning. So to your point, it is a shame that she wasn't in that Battle Royal, because now would have been a good time to bring her up and have her get a few minutes on TV. They can't be losing all of the Tough Enough people, can they?
Well, they're going to re-debut the Velveteen Dream, so...
Oh, yes. I forgot about that commercial.
They got that coming up.
Which was so obviously Patrick Clark, but now he's the Velveteen Rabbit. I mean, Dream. Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
But you don't think Mandy was showing a lot of promise?
Velveteen Dream.
I absolutely think Mandy was showing a lot of promise. I think Eva was further along than people give her credit for. That's all.
So, obviously, she didn't actually wrestle a match on SmackDown, but the last match I remember Eva Marie in was against Bayley on NXT, and she was fucking terrible.
She wasn't. Go back and watch it. It really wasn't that bad. People go into this is the problem that happens. People go into these matches with biases against people, and they see the match the way they want to see it. If you dislike Eva, you'll watch that match and think Eva was horrible. Were there some spots here or there? Sure. I can pull out some spots in Alexa Bliss's matches. I still think she's great. She has a personality that carries through it. Eva Marie has more personality than half the fucking girls on this roster. And the in-ring, occasionally there's going to be a screw-up, a cross-up here or there, and that happens. Again, it happens to Alexa. It still happens to Sasha. It still happens to Bayley. By and large, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Eva Marie was the next coming of fucking leader Trish Stratus, but I think she never got a chance to be that because people just decided they were going to fucking shit on her before she ever had a chance to. The girl put in work. She went back down to NXT to try to get better. She showed a commitment to the business, and people just were never willing to fucking give her a chance. And I just think it was shitty.
For me, I actually was looking forward to when she was re-debuting. I knew she was training with Brian Kendrick, and it's actually because you brought up Alexa, it was almost a parallel opposites because I didn't like Alexa coming in. I didn't like the character. She won me over with her work as a heel. Whereas for Eva Marie, I wanted to see good things out of her, and it just never clicked for me.
I think she was right on the cusp before she got the suspension. I really think that killed it because those promos, that whole gimmick they had going on for her right before that was fucking amazing. I thought it was great. And
the voiceover was a good touch. It was really a way to get her, and she was getting white hot heat. I'll admit that.
Yeah.
I get it. Maybe she just didn't have enough time to get there.
Yeah, they never got to the payoff of her actually wrestling in that gimmick. So, and I think she might have surprised a few people if they had. That's all.
Fair enough.
All right. On that note, do we want to do the news or the discussion topic?
Why don't we bang out the news and then we'll get to the discussion topic.
Okay. Well then. Play the jingle.
It's the news.
Great. Now I don't have to play the jingle. Okay.
All right. We got a few brief items tonight. Leading off with somebody that we've sort of touched on in the past, and we were talking, interestingly enough, this segue from the Mandy Rose, Eva Marie discussion. But since being moved to SmackDown Live in the Superstar Shakeup, the Ravishing Russian has undergone a bit of a makeover as she prepares to spread her wings, amongst other things, and become more than just Rusev's arm candy. It has been rumored that Lana has basically been given the Emelina gimmick that Emma was forced to abandon after WWE officials didn't think she could pull off what they were looking for.
That's funny because the promos make it look like she's Landongo.
It appears this is indeed true, as WWE plans on using some of the aspects they had in mind with the Emelina persona for Lana. There has also been talk of Lana dropping her Russian accent, and while that's currently undecided, there is a good chance of that aspect of her character being dropped. Lana and Rusev were told that they will likely no longer be a unit and instead have separate storylines. WWE officials feel Rusev can succeed on his own, and they've always wanted to push Lana solo. The main issue with Lana is her inexperienced wrestling. While she's competing frequently these days in NXT at live events in Florida, it will be difficult for her to stick out as a top-level performer. Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see what Lana can do.
Agreed.
We've talked about it. She's a girl who doesn't have the most experience, necessarily the most talent, but she seems to be willing to work at it. And I'm always willing to give the girls a chance if they're putting in the work. And Lana appears to be, from everything I can tell.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to her character re-debuting on SmackDown. It is interesting, the pictures I've seen online. I mean, she's basically humping a chair in the ring. I don't know how much of that they do on TV.
Yeah, and if they ever need a stand-in for the chair... I mean, I only have 3 legs, but I'm happy to fill it.
Well, it's like when Velvet Sky used to do her ring entrance in TNA, and everybody wanted to be the second rope.
Yes.
You know what I noticed during those Lana vignettes though that I now can't unsee is the fact that when she's just dancing around the chair and they're playing the music, that's the fucking stage. That's the SmackDown stage.
Yeah. Well, what did you expect?
All of a sudden, I just noticed. Well, I don't know. First, I don't know. In my head, it was like a club setting or something, and then I saw the Tron in shadow in the background. I was like, "It's just the fucking stage. They just taped that before they opened the arena one night."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm to me, dropping the Russian accent is an interesting choice because it's just such a disparate thing for the character.
Well, I mean, they've already done it on Total Divas, so.
Right? But we've already, in terms of the character on TV, it's just like, hey, here's this same person with the same name, but now she's completely different, talks different, and acts different. It's a little weird. I also thought there was no reason to change the Ice Princess Russian gimmick. I thought it was working. I thought it was over, and I thought there was more you could do with it. So.
They're going for a complete repackage here, so
yeah, definitely. I'm definitely intrigued. Yeah, I'm definitely intrigued to see where Rusev and Lana go now that they have been split up as characters. We've already seen Rusev. We've already had that Rusev promo where he says he's not coming back until Money in the Bank and only if he gets a title shot. We haven't had any Lana promos yet, just these vignettes, but yeah, Landongo. I'm very interested. I'm intrigued to see. Is a good word for it. I'm intrigued to see where this goes and what this character is.
They have a really good chance here with Rusev to make him that killer heel he used to be. Mm-hmm. You don't have Lana in the picture right now. You know, he's demanding a title shot, Money in the Bank. I'm not saying he's got to win it, but he's got to come out there and just dominate for most of the match and let it lead to something at SummerSlam. I want to see Rusev in a real storyline at SummerSlam, not with Enzo and Cass.
All right. Well, also in the news this week, and this is a brief item, but NXT General Manager William Regal is celebrating 34 years in the pro wrestling business this month. He made his in-ring debut at age 15 in England, and Regal has helped run WWE tryouts in Dubai as recently as this past weekend. So congrats to William Regal. 34 years is a hell of a run in the wrestling industry and a lot of hard work. So
absolutely.
Send congratulations on to him. In some sad news, former WWE superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman was arrested at the airport in Los Angeles over the weekend. Shortly after midnight on Saturday, Waltman was arrested on a felony charge and later released on Sunday after posting a $35,000 bail.
You said sad news, and that reminded me that I have to look up the tweet of the week.
Waltman noted on Twitter that the arrest was not drug-related, but TMZ reports that Waltman was arrested after cops said he tried to bring marijuana and meth through customs. Waltman was headed to the UK for an indie event. He was stopped at customs when the drugs were discovered by airport police, and more police were then called to the scene. Waltman was arrested on the spot and taken to a nearby jail where he was charged with possession of a controlled substance. During that process, police discovered Waltman had an outstanding warrant from a prior DUI arrest. Waltman's rep told TMZ that the former DX member was fine, but they didn't offer any further details. Waltman has since gone on, I believe it was the Sam Roberts show, and said that it wasn't meth, but was rather medication for a yeast infection, and I'm not sure which one is worse. So
I'm going to credit Troy with saying this. When you surround people that tell you you don't have a problem, it's the worst possible thing you can do. And Sean Waltman, I feel bad for him, but he is going to end up like China.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to go that far. He's got a little weed thing. That's fine. Weeds is what it is. It's not. He's not going to die from weed. Let's be honest.
No, but I doubt that there wasn't meth involved. I mean, he's had a history, so
it still remains to be seen whether he has joined Degeneration Meth or if it was simply yeast infection medication. We will find out. In the main event of
those two are just so similar.
I don't know. When was your last yeast infection, Adam? Or was the last time you did meth? How do you know what they look like to compare them?
Never mind. Anyway,
in the main event of last night, Tuesday night's 205 Live, we saw Noam Dar defeat Rich Swann before reuniting with on-screen girlfriend Alicia Fox in a post-match segment. The match also saw announcers Corey Graves and Tom Phillips spar on commentary after airing a video package on the love triangle between Fox, Dar, and Swann. Phillips referred to Dar as a, quote, Eurotrash pervert, and that led Graves to making a reference to the recent social media scandal with Phillips. As Graves said, quote, it's not like Dar was sending DMs on Instagram to people he shouldn't have been. There's nothing embarrassing about what he's done. He simply stole the heart of a beautiful woman from Cedric Alexander who was neglectful. Didn't show Alicia Fox the attention she truly deserved, end quote. Tom then commented on how Cedric was a terrible boyfriend to Alicia. Graves took another shot when he said, it's a lot longer flight than 4 hours for Dar.
Hashtag Facefucker for life.
As noted back in February, a woman shared a screenshot of a conversation she had with the engaged Phillips. Phillips wrote in the screenshot, quote, I'm in my seat with a massive erection and a 4-hour flight ahead. I'm going to face fuck the shit out of you, end quote. I want to make sure that quote was Tom Phillips.
So sad that Troy is not on the episode right now.
Furthermore, Corey Graves took to Twitter and said, if you can't bust the balls of your friends, whose balls can you bust? So
amen.
Clearly that's what that was going on. And now another reason we're probably a little disappointed Troy's not on the show this week, but Charlotte Flair is the latest celebrity to have her private adult photos leaked out to the internet. The photos were leaked sometime after midnight last night. Charlotte then took to Twitter and wrote the following on the leak. Private photos of mine were stolen and shared publicly without my consent. These images must be removed from the internet immediately, leading me to the inescapable conclusion that Charlotte has no fucking idea how the internet works.
This tweet has also since been deleted, by the way.
I demand you remove these pictures from the internet.
I got several likes from my comment on that post, so on that tweet. So that's going to do it for the news desk. Now, in light of these recent events, I'm sure we have some interesting things as we head over to Adam for the Adam Traveling Tweet of the Week. And you can follow all the action on Twitter by searching for @AdamTraveling with 1 L.
Mm-hmm. Before this is going to be an extension of that story because we've got, of course, a series about Charlotte and her tits. The first one is the fully naked picture to which Time Traveling Adam posted nice mismatched tits at Ms. Charlotte WWE. Then at Byron Saxton, now I see why you were banging at Ms. Charlotte WWE. She got that bald snatch. Good on you, playa. I got $5, says that at Ric Flair Nature Boy is jerking it to those leaked nudes of at Ms. Charlotte WWE right now.
Oh.
My personal favorite. Aw, she has your nipples at Ric Flair Nature Boy. His reply to that tweet that's been deleted says, that's fine, I already came. Hey, at Ms. Charlotte WWE, at least you didn't have at Byron Saxton come on the Raw Women's title.
That we know of.
That we know of. Exactly.
Another reply to that tweet says, I got them all removed. Hashtag you're welcome. At Ric Flair Nature Boy is a proud papa today. He finally gets to know what he would look like with a sex change. Hashtag no facial surgery needed.
Ew.
That's not the only thing released thanks to those pictures. Hashtag I'm saying I jizzed. And then in reply to a tweet saying,
hold on, Smathers on the side says her tits remind me of Devon's eyes.
Oh no. Oh, Jesus
and then a gentleman replied to, "Oh, she has your nipples," by saying, "LMAO, I bet he's going to block you." She said, "Time traveling Adam said, not yet, but there is still time." Apparently, it has not yet been blocked by Ric Flair.
How about Charlotte? Has he been blocked by Charlotte? No, we'd have heard about that.
Yep. And that's all. Oh, and then this picture of Peter Griffin with the tweet. For some reason, this picture makes me think of Ms. Charlotte WWE's tits. Let's get that. And there we go.
Oh no.
All right. And okay. And now the tweet that I wanted to pick out as tweet of the week, as I have to scroll all the way back down here. I really hope at this point that at Shinsuke N makes his debut at hashtag WWE Backlash and breaks his ankle on his entrance and is out for 6 months.
Well, that's just mean.
Yeah, that's not right.
You don't wish injury on people, especially not when they're making their debut at Backlash.
Fine. How about this? Nope. Not going to call at Tamina Snuka, at Matt by Nature, and at Carmella WWE the welcoming committee. From now on, they are the Walmart greeters.
I feel like he needs to compliment someone's dick. It's been a while.
At Nikki Cross WWE looks like every slow Nickelodeon cartoon bully from the 90s.
Terrible.
My wife must be a huge at Braun Strowman fan. Every time we fuck, she uses his catchphrase, "I'm not finished yet."
That was the winner.
That's the winner. There you go.
And a throwback, considering how much at Real Page WB has gotten around, I'm sure Xavier Woods has. Hashtag WWE Great Balls of Fire. Okay. We didn't talk about that this week. That awesome pay-per-view name.
It's funny that I posted that in the thread and you all thought I was fucking ribbing you.
Yeah, seriously.
Because we didn't think in 2017 a pay-per-view would be fucking called that.
It's got a point.
Also, did they change the venue? Was Bad Blood originally scheduled someplace else?
I don't think so.
So we actually did get a voicemail from Smathers, but it was an hour ago talking about SmackDown. Sorry,
right, so we went from Bad Blood to Great Balls of Fire. So we essentially went from AIDS to gonorrhea, and I'd say that's an upgrade.
All right. So that brings us to our discussion topic. It was Troy's week to pick the discussion topic for the episode. But before we get to that,
so I already know where Troy's going with this. So if I had to pick one of Alexa's holes,
before we get to that,
wait, so that wasn't it?
No. You may remember last week, Troy and Sal had to say nice things about Jason because of a side bet on the Fantasy League. This week, I placed a side bet with Troy that I lost because call me crazy, thought Kevin Owens was going to retain the U.S. Championship. And I have to say nice things about Troy, which is really just so difficult because he's such a fucking asshole. No. That's what I said. I said, oh no, I have to say nice things about my friends. Troy has been a great asset to this show. He stepped in when Andy had to step out.
Did you say asset or asshat?
Asset.
Okay.
He can be an asshat, but he is an asset. I said it during the year-end special as well. I think he's a great fit for the show. He's got that great sense of humor that makes us all cringe in the best way possible. He, like I said, he really stepped up when Andy had to step out and kept the show going. Now, kind of Jason's taking over that role and keeping this train a rolling. And I really appreciate it. He stepped in. For those of you who don't remember, this was a few years ago at the end of whatever season it was. We actually posted a poll on Facebook asking if the show should continue. Because
you were throwing it in, you were giving up.
because Andy and I were both kind of burned out at that point, and Troy, the two people who answered the poll were Troy and Sal, and Troy actually stepped up and said, "Hey, you want a new co-host?" And I said, "Sure, fuck, why not?" And he's been here ever since, and it's worked out wonderfully. And I appreciate everything that he's done for the show. I appreciate him taking the time to do the NXT Revisited episodes. Now that's back, that was his idea, volunteered to do that, and I thank him for that. And I look forward to what he brings in the future.
Plus, good job getting away with killing that girl and framing Stephen Avery.
Really, I'm making a murderer reference in 2017.
Hey, season 2 is coming up, motherfucker.
And on that note, oops, somebody hit Siri.
Yeah, Siri. What's up, Siri?
Hi there, Jason. You have turned me on.
Siri, hey Siri, what are you wearing? Fucking cunt won't answer me.
But everybody who ends up listening to this in their car or through their iPhone is gonna have the podcast is just gonna pause right then.
Typical fucking woman. Anytime I want her to say something, fucking crickets. Meanwhile, I'm in the middle of doing a show and she's got to chime the fuck up. See what happens?
Hello, Jason. And on that note,
Can we now get to the point of the show where Adam gets berated by his wife?
No. That comes after.
Okay. Hey Siri.
Here. Oh, Jesus. It worked. I heard it.
Oh shit, my iPad and my iPhone went off at the same time. She said, "Well, I never." You should.
All right. Can we get to the discussion topic now?
Sure.
Hey, Rundown. It is your boy, Ravishing Dick Dude, Troy, the host of NXT Revisited every Wednesday on the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. And in honor of my big win in the Fantasy League this week, I have to come up with something for you guys to talk about. So, let me think here. Should we do Fuck, Marry, Kill with Shane McMahon's kids? Maybe not today. Should we...
you have horrified Sal, Troy.
One of these Charlotte Reed pictures is the best? No, because they're all kind of garbage. But what I'm going to have you guys do is have a little fun. I'm going to have you can choose, guys,
What the fuck
from
are you
any
doing?
era, any promotion. But I want you guys to draft a roster of 2 main eventers, 2 mid-carders, 2 tag teams, and 2 women, and see which one of you does the best. I look forward to hearing it, and you should all look forward to listening to NXT Revisited every Wednesday. And check out my other podcast, the Slasher Sanitarium, now with actual content. See?
All right. So that is our topic.
Is there any truth to the rumor that Troy will be starting up a podcast called the Sasha Sanitarium, where he would go through Sasha Banks matches?
Probably not. From any era, from any promotion, 2 main eventers, 2 mid-carders, 2 tag teams, 2 women. That is what we have been tasked with here.
See, that's too broad of a discussion, man. Because what's the criteria? I don't know. Are we talking about Are we talking about best in ring? Are we talking about drawing money? Are we talking about? I have no idea.
Apparently, we just have to see who does the best. Not sure what that means.
Okay. Well, can we all pick this? Do we have to pick different people? Can we all pick the same people? Troy gives a very broad topic here.
Is he still in the chat room? Can we find out what the fuck he was thinking?
No, I haven't seen him in a while.
Matters at this point. From any promotion, from any era.
Did he say any era? I got the any promotion.
Yep. Any promotion, any era. 2 mid-carders, 2 main eventers, 2 teams, 2 women.
All right. So 2 main eventers, 2 mid-carders, and 2 women.
Fuck it. It's a business. Let's go drawing money-wise.
And 2 tag teams.
2 tag teams. All right. I'm calling the Rock and Stone Cold as my main eventers.
Okay. I think I would go with Sting and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, I was going to say Sting. Let's see here. I don't want to pick the same ones that you guys had. So any era, I would probably go... You know what? I guess Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair.
The mid-carders is the difficult one because there's such a wide, a vast pool to choose from.
Say Tracy Smothers.
I think I'll pick Sin Cara. No.
Say Arachnaman.
What was the one? What was his gimmick when he was just ripping off Road Dogg? What the fuck was that one called?
Oh, I forget.
They had the same theme song, just with 2 notes different, and they fucking got a cease and desist. I don't remember what that was called. Somebody look that up on WrestleCraft.
How are we defining mid-carders here? I guess
that's the other thing. True.
I would assume somebody who has not won a world title or never been in that main event picture.
Like anywhere or in the
That's
WWE.
tough, though.
See, if I had to pick 2, my thoughts were going to Jake Roberts and Raven because I love the promos those guys cut, and I wouldn't consider Raven a main eventer. I know that he did a lot in ECW, but in WCW, WB, he was a mid-carder. So
Okay, well then I wouldn't necessarily classify this person as a mid-carder, but based on the way their career played out and sort of the criteria that Adam laid out, I'm going to go with Kurt Hennig and Arn Anderson.
I was gonna go with Mr. Perfect. Yeah. The problem with what you described, Sal, is Roddy Piper was he was considered a mid-carder, but because he never won a world title. But if that's the criteria, I think I would go with Perfect and Piper.
I think that would be perfectly acceptable.
Wait, so you just stole my answer?
Well, he said Piper. You said Arn Anderson. So. And he also said,
you said Kurt Hennig. I said Mr. Perfect. Those are different.
All right, you know what? I'm actually going to change mine now. Now that I think about it, because I still want Kurt Hennig, but on top of Kurt Hennig, I'm going to go.
Ooh, it's getting sexy.
The Shockmaster. No, no, I'm going to go Kurt Hennig and Davey Boy Smith.
There you go.
I think British Bulldog
sure. There you go.
Vastly underrated as an in-ring performer.
Absolutely, 100%. I'll give you that. You could also throw on Owen Hart in there anyway. So
yeah, that's another great one.
Okay, 2 tag teams.
Xavier Woods and Brad Maddox.
oh shit, I had 2 and I just forgot one. I think my 2 for the 2 tag teams would probably end up being the Freebirds and Legion of Doom.
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Dick. All right, I'm gonna go. The reason I changed what I changed was because I'm gonna go Arn and Tully. Be it Horsemen, Brainbusters, however you want to go. I think they're my money, probably one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And I was going to go Road Warriors, Legion of Doom, but to not be a repeating piece of shit, I'm going to have to pick someone else. So I will go and select... Damn, this is harder than I thought it was. How about the Hart Foundation?
Okay.
Who should be in the Hall of Fame as a team, by the way.
100%. Absolutely.
I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go the Hardys and Edge and Christian.
Okay. Other teams on my list that I would have considered would definitely have been the Outsiders, Hall and Nash, just for what they did in WCW at the very beginning there, and the Hollywood Blondes. I think I would take because at that point those guys were high flyers. Basically, I think that'd be entertaining.
How about the new Heavenly Bodies?
How about the Beverly Brothers?
Bo and Blake.
How about the new Midnight Rockers?
Leaf Cassidy.
Leaf Cassidy and Marty Jannetty. Yeah.
High Energy.
Why am I wearing the genie pants? And two women. Sal, you can go first this time. You haven't gone first yet.
All right.
Sal, you have the opportunity to pick 2 women first, so have at it, sir.
Well, there is truly only one answer, and that is Trish Stratus and Lita.
Of course.
Okay, so you're going Trish Stratus and Lita, and that's totally understandable and acceptable. Allow me to counter that with Sensational Sherry and Medusa.
Okay.
As wrestlers, though?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah.
No, I've never seen Sherry. I know that she has. I just didn't typically see her. When I started watching wrestling, she was a manager.
Yeah, that was after a storied career as an in-ring
Yeah.
performer, one of the best of all time. And Medusa, I mean, her Alundra Blaze run was less than spectacular, but you go watch some of her shit from Japan. She's amazing, one of the best to ever do it.
Yep.
Oh no, I agree with that.
All right, so Smathers list, Adam, you can have a second. His
I'm just having trouble picking the second one.
His main eventers were Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles. Can't argue with that. I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised I didn't go with Shawn Michaels. But we're talking about drawing money. That's why I went with Austin and Rock. His mid-carders were Mr. Perfect and Jake the Snake. So I think we both, between us, we hit that. Surprisingly, a little bit, his tag teams, the Hardys and the Revival, which is
Wow, high praise.
A little early in the game to go that route for my money, but that's okay. His women were Lita and AJ Lee. So AJ, I just don't think had enough longevity to put in that category, but yeah. But she has fucked CM Punk, so her and I can agree on that. All right, Adam, you're up. 2 women.
The one that popped immediately into my head was the Fabulous Moolah.
I'll bet you she did.
That's for the second one.
Say Mae Young.
Necrophilia, baby.
I'm thinking maybe Harvina. No.
Say Santina Morella.
Actually, on that note, I think I would go with Beth Phoenix.
Ugh.
I know you don't like her, but you're wrong, so go fuck yourself.
Hey, Adam, you didn't do the time-honored tradition of asking me about my wrestling history since that was the first time on the show.
Yeah, we forgot last week with Chef too, so welcome to the club.
I hate you.
We can do it now. You came in as a surprise. I didn't have time.
That's a good point.
Appeared out of the ether.
You came in like a wrecking ball, Sal.
So okay. So that's our fantasy teams, as it were, I guess. If you want to submit your own, put it on Facebook on this episode's post on Facebook, or send it to us at rundownwrestling@gmail.com.
By the way,
thanks, Troy.
Hold on a second, because if I'm still taking issue with Adam's shitty picks for women here, because the whole point here was drawing money. When the fuck has Beth Phoenix drawn a dime? To Smather's point, he says Beth Phoenix was better than China, and in ring, sure, absolutely. But in terms of drawing money, China was head and shoulders, and I'm actually embarrassed I didn't think of putting China on the list. But China was. Can you think of a woman that's drawn more money through the years than China did? I mean, this was a woman that main evented for the WWE Heavyweight Championship at one point.
It's my picks. Go fuck yourself.
And China was barely a woman. I mean, let's be honest here.
Hey, don't treat her like a woman. Don't treat her like a man. Don't treat her like you know her. Treat her for just who and what she is. Okay.
Nobody mentioned the cat, though.
Ugh.
Jillian Hall.
Remember when Jillian Hall had that thing on her face and Boogeyman bit it off?
Kelly. Keep in mind that the rate they're inducting women in the Hall of Fame, all of these women will be Hall of Famers at some point.
So you're saying that thing on Jillian Hall's face will get inducted too?
Should, yeah, honorable mention at least.
It'll be inducted by the Boogeyman.
All right, since
or at least maybe look at the Warrior Award.
Terrible.
All right. So, Sal.
Yes.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
2 hours and 15 minutes into it.
Been a long time coming.
I'm trying to remember the goddamn questions.
That's why he hasn't asked him. He can't fucking remember.
It's true. I forgot. Let me see if I can remember. I believe one was, how long have you been watching wrestling?
Since late 91, early 92. I saw a video cassette that my cousin had recorded of SummerSlam, match made in hell, Hogan and Warrior against the Triangle of Terror, and I thought it was the coolest shit in the world, and I forced my father to buy me WrestleMania 8, and then was off to the races after that.
WrestleMania 8. Wow.
Which, by the way, at that age, I did not know WrestleMania 8 was all fucked up. In my mind, it was fine.
I feel like we were all sleeping on Asia.
Scott Steiner's bitch?
No, that was Mid-Asia.
Oh, sorry.
No, Asia was the blonde knockoff of China that WCW had. Oh, fuck, Nicole Bass.
I was just going to say that. What's the next one? Who?
Sable and Sunny. Nobody fucking mentioned Sable and Sunny.
Sable fucking sucks. Brock.
Drawing money, Sal. Drawing money. She was the hottest goddamn thing in the wrestling business during the Attitude Era. She was right up there with DX.
It's true. What's the next one? Is it who's your favorite wrestler of all time, I believe?
I've been thinking about that question all day, and the problem is I go back and forth. But if I have to go all time, I gotta say Shawn Michaels.
Say Brad Armstrong.
No, it's Shawn Michaels. All time, from way back and when he was coming up, and then, you know, when he had his singles run with the title, and then when he reinvented himself when he came back in 2002. Guy's one of the best performers I've ever seen in my life.
Cosign.
Triplicate. And what's the third one?
I don't know, but I'm not going to get into this argument now. But for a while, CM Punk was my favorite wrestler.
Fuck CM Punk.
I knew that. It's literally it's been so long since we've introduced a new person on the show. I've forgotten what the questions are.
CM Punk is the most fucking overrated person the business has ever seen.
Do you see what you've done? You see what you've done?
Ever fucking seen.
Here's the thing.
He was decent in the ring. Nothing more than decent.
You have to understand, the first time I saw Punk wrestle was on a tape of him versus Joe from 2004.
Those the Ring of Honor matches were great.
And then I followed this guy through his WWE career. I saw what he did with the Straight Edge Society, which I thought was gold. I saw what he did when he dropped the pipe bomb, and then even when they put him with Heyman, I loved every segment. In ring, no, not the best ever. You know, he was good, but I liked what he did on the mic even better than what he did in the ring. And then obviously all the stuff that happened after, yeah, fuck him. He basically abandoned wrestling and acted like he was too good for it. And I hope he gets his face
shit on it on the way out. And
I hope he gets his fucking face smashed if he does another UFC fight like he did the first time, but worse. But while he was in the company, I did enjoy his work very much.
You know what? And here's the thing. All bullshit aside, there were things he did that I found very entertaining. To this day, I will still occasionally pull up and get a chuckle on YouTube of the clip where he had the back and forth with Kevin Nash. After, that was SummerSlam. I got a text from my sister Shalene. Kevin Nash, OMG, LOL. I thought he was dead. I still pop for that one.
That's great.
She was just listening to the opening track of Macho Man's rap album. That guy's still alive? Damn. All right. So I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's it. Anybody got anything else?
So I guess now we have to sit back and wait because Troy's going to decide, since it's his topic, which one of us has the better roster.
We'll find out. We'll find out next week which one of us is the best.
No, we all have to sit here and wait for Troy. Let's wait.
Troy's probably masturbating to the Charlotte photos. So,
Adam, even though you didn't have a third question, I would like to just make note that one of my favorite rundown moments ever.
Oh boy.
was when Bill jumped in the chat at the end of the show and he was like, "Hey, I just got here, start over," and you were like, "All right, this week episode of the run."
I'm funny.
I thought it was going to be the Jan Ross moment. So I'm actually kind of glad.
No, I honestly felt bad for doing that, dude, because it was one of those things where once it fell off the rails, there was no getting back on.
And there was no way to not sound like an asshole, but Troy kept making it worse on me.
That's what Troy does. Troy makes it worse in the best way possible. That does it for the rundown for this Thursday, May 4th, 2017. 398 days since Asuka won the NXT Women's Championship.
97, motherfucker.
And one day since she made Ember Moon fucking fly.
Well, it's been one TV day.
Didn't they say 396 on NXT last night?
I don't know. I'll look it up on Wikipedia.
Now you're just making it. Now you're Bill Goldberging in it.
266 and 0. 454 and 0.
It's a work.
Yeah, I'll do it later. Anyways, by my math, it's still 398 because it was 391 last week and it's been 7 days. So math. Yeah, for a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial, go to audibletrial.com/rundown.
Or there's a lot of other places you can go for that.
Wait a minute. I can get a free book? This is news to me.
Listen, Sal was the only one that really bought that too. So
I did, because I was like, what is wrong with you?
For those of you listening at home, Sal is incredibly gullible when it comes to practical jokes, to the point where at one point during the U.S. Open Challenge, I had actually convinced him that Santino had made a surprising return to WWE and beaten John Cena for the United States Championship.
And yet Santino was a former United States champion. Hey, anything can happen in the WWE.
Smathers was an interesting idea on the side, Adam. He suggests that we have a new counter where we count how many days since the Universal title has been seen on TV.
Okay,
Ooh, that's a good.
I can add that to the list. I just have to go onto the Wikipedia list of current WWE champions and count up from Brock Lesnar's fucking title reign. Liberty States Wrestling returns Saturday, May 13th at the John McCarthy Elementary School in Peabody, Massachusetts.
Or you can follow Adam on Twitter and watch half the match.
The show will feature a one-night four-man tournament to determine a new Liberty States No Limits champion at ElkMania this past weekend. Christian Casanova retained the Liberty States. This is me ignoring you. Liberty States Heavyweight Championship. So in that tournament, the first round is Brandon Locke versus Demon Ortiz and Todd Sopel versus Nick Westgate. Speaking of Christian Casanova, he will be defending the Liberty States Heavyweight Championship against Chase Del Monte. That'll be a hell of a match. Josh Briggs versus Setherin in a no DQ falls count anywhere match.
Does Billy Corrigan get control of the Some Limits Championship now? Since he bought NWA and it was originally an NWA thing, and
nope. Fabulous Johnny Vegas versus Ilya Markopoulos and Patrick Dalton versus Steven the Turtle Weiner. After that,
isn't it Wiener?
It's spelled Wiener, but apparently it's pronounced Weiner.
Huh. It's funnier if it's Wiener.
It is. Jason, what do you got going on the 20th of May? Anything else, yeah?
APW returns to live action in Salisbury, Massachusetts at the Boys and Girls Club. A one-night only tag team tournament where we're going to crown brand new APW tag team champions. The winners of the tournament will go on to the finals to face Johnny Torres and Scotty Wilde for the belts. All sorts of APW stars will be in action that night. The Juggernaut John Poe, Dynamite Danny Miles. Believe we may have women's championship action. We'll see how that plays out. But all that and more APW. Follow Atlantic Pro Wrestling on Facebook for more information.
Also on May 20th, Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Spring Village Stampede at the Wendell P. Clark Memorial.
That's just way too involved of a title.
Yeah, Spring Stampede. At the Wendell P. Clark Memorial YMCA in
Winston, should just call it Get Lucky.
Guido Also
Little
has
Guido?
Nunzio taking on Anthony Green, who is the Lucky Pro Wrestling Hard Knocks champion. I don't know if that's a title match or not. I got to ask Chris. The tag team champions, the Aristocrats, taking on the Heavy Hitters. That is a title match. Dan Terry taking on Tyler Nitro. Also scheduled to appear the selfie-made man Vern Vicalo, the LPW champion.
Who's facing Sweat Boy?
I'm not sure if we've got there yet. There was, where is it? There was another one posted. There was Robo versus somebody, but I've lost that picture. So Robo is in a match, but I don't remember against who. Sorry. More on that next week.
Is it Sweat Boy?
It's not. No. Plus the Stampede Battle Royal, they come as you are. Anything goes over the top rope Battle Royal for the Bunkhouse Trophy.
So you're saying there's no limits?
Bunch of cocksuckers. And then
So you're saying there's some limits.
And then ElkMania 5 on Saturday.
Elks on fire.
Saturday, September 23rd at the Beverly.
Subtitles, pal. Goddamn.
In Beverly, Massachusetts. Already signed for ElkMania 5 in September.
It's an elk. It's on fire.
The current Bay State champion.
Look at that fucking elk burn. Its furry tail is so flammable. It's fire.
You know what? Never mind. We'll talk about it next time. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. Send us an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. That was incredible. That's my favorite thing that's ever happened. Send us an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com. Leave a voicemail on the hotline like Sal used to do. And Smathers does, except we didn't get it until the show had already started, so I didn't see it there. Sorry about that again. 617-863-6967. That's 61 Rundown 7.
Speaking of voicemails, since I am
flammable.
Since I am the voice of the voicemail, I would like to say to all other voicemail callers, like Adam's grandmother, like Chet Wingston, leave a goddamn voicemail, people. It's been too long. I can't be doing all this work by myself.
I don't think Bogdan is still alive. So
I didn't say him. I said Chet Wingstead.
Chet Wingstead is still out there, the weatherman.
Your grandma.
She might
poor grandma.
She might also be dead at this point. I'm not sure. Like us on Facebook.
Go check.
So far away. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com.
She's on fire.
Oh God.
It smells like Asper cream and diapers.
That voice sounds less like Vince McMahon and more like something else, but I can't place it right now. It's fucking killing me. Watch archived episodes at youtube.com/rundown podcast. And for Jason's sake, circle me on Google Plus at google.com/+Adam Rundown Host.
Fuck that.
If you'd like to make a donation of the monetary variety, go to paypal.me/rundownwrestling. It costs me $10 a month to host this on Podomatic, maybe more in the future if we keep adding shows to the lineup here on the feed. So any little bit helps with that and is greatly appreciated. Check out all the shows on the Questionable Endeavor Network: Shadow Vein, Tooning Japanese, the Raw Attitude Podcast, the Slasher Sanitarium, now with content, as Troy said earlier. PWN Stars, New Blood Rising, and Words of Geekdom. Apparently doing an upcoming show about the PBS math educational show from the early 90s called Square One Television, which I am really looking forward to because I fucking loved that show. That's every Wednesday.
MathNet.
Exactly. At QuestN Network on Twitter, questnnetwork.com, and check out our channel on the Discord app, DISCORD, discordapp.com.
Smathers on the side says, why the fuck is Taz so angry? And where are his glasses? He looks weird without them.
I'm fucking crying. There's Cat's cousin Chaos behind
I
me.
was gonna say, whose kid just woke up?
No.
Cats on fire. Burning pussy.
Great balls of fire.
No, they're neutered.
Hair balls of fire.
There it is. Search for us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, or Podomatic under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week for $0.00. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave a 5-star review on iTunes because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, we'll read your name in your review at the end of a future episode.
And if you leave a 3-star review, you can go to hell.
Thanks to everyone for listening. If you're still with us at this point, thank you to Smathers in the Smathers Lounge and Troy and Spambot. Thank you, Jason.
I was going to do something, but I got nothing left.
And thank you, Sal.
No, thank you, Adam.
Welcome aboard. I expect you to be here every week. Yeah,
right. I'm on that Raccoon Rain schedule.
Oh, fuck. Why even fix the computer then? And thanks to Ray Williams for the logo. Thanks to iFight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song. Next week,
Elks on fire.
And as always,
Jason gets a bag of cough drops.
Jacob, good night and good luck.
Breeze on. Go fuck yourself.
See you next Thursday.
And take care, bulby faces.
You motherfucker. That was incredible.
I don't really know where that came from.
But
your
it was
poor
perfect.
voice, man.
But it was
Seriously.
perfect. I'm crying. I literally cry.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow like, I can't talk. You sound like John Laurinaitis.
Johnny Laryngitis.
Man.
All right, so this is the part. This is the part where I just hit stop recording, and then I send the file.
No. So stop recording. Then select a section where you're not talking.
Take your pants off.
And jacket. You look so confused right now. Welcome to the post show where we teach Sal how to use Audacity.
All right, so I stopped the recording.
Okay, that's step one. Good step one.
So then what do I do?
So highlight a section of the track where you're not speaking.
Well, how do I go back? Because it's like on.
Just Sal, just click on the track and hit Control A. Select the whole fucking thing.
Don't select the whole fucking thing.
That's what I do.
To remove noise?
Yeah.
That's a terrible idea.
It sounds fine every week when I fucking send it to you, doesn't it?
I don't like that.
Listen, you do it your way, I do it my way, motherfucker. Mail, motherfucker.
Now I got to redo the end show because Sal's on the show and not just leaving voicemails. He doesn't have to get a special thanks in the end show.
You okay?
Yeah, it just makes me laugh.
What does?
I knew I was.
Hey, can't you just remove the noise?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So
I knew just that voice, and I knew I was gonna pop somebody with the. I don't know. She might be dead too, and I'm glad it was Sal.
that was great.
We don't need to stay on YouTube because we have no voicemails to read. So
Rundown.
Good night and goodbye.
Keep it sexy, YouTube.